It takes so long. Hi everyone, I'm terrified. I have not run a game in so long. So, hello everyone, welcome to Tabletop Fables. I'm Ishtar. I'm normally sitting on that side, not this side, so I'm even more terrified than normal. I haven't run a game in a very long time, so let's see how well this goes. I'm going to have all of our players introduce themselves. Actually, no, I had an intro spiel. I should actually say the intro spiel I pre-wrote.
Otherwise, what's the point?
Okay, I found it. I totally had more than 5 hours of sleep last night. So, welcome viewers to tonight's episode of Tabletop Fables. When we last saw our heroes, we read about them in fairy tales, myths, and legends. Another world, a different realm of existence, happens to find all of its inhabitants as people who, at some time, had an adventure that someone else in a reality far away decided to recount as a story. Tales of adventures yet to be experienced, cautionary tales for little ones, and memories of lifetimes far since gone. Every story that has or will exist here. Every story has or will exist here. Some way and some when. It's all just a matter of time. But someone from a... I'm totally prepared. But someone from a fairy tale doesn't lead a life based entirely around their adventure. No, even fabled people are, well, people. And lead regular lives just trying to get by like everyone else until it's time for their story. But like every good story, we need a hero. And tonight, our heroes are... And introduce yourselves now.
I'll look at Brett quick.
I'm not Brett, I'm Mr. Mortimer. And I'm just a little halfling, and I certainly was stealing no cabbages. And neither was Mr. Reeves, my monkey.
I'm Kaylin Milliam. I am a moon elf, otherwise known as a type of high elf from deep in the forests to the... somewhere far away, to the east.
Sure.
And I knew exactly what I was doing when I stepped into her garden. I knew it was my fate.
Ooh. Hey everyone, I'm Maddie and I'm playing as Lillian Gracie. She's a halfling warlock, originally a circus performer, but that kind of went downhill when her husband was polymorphed into an alligator, and she basically ended up having a near-death experience, which caused the wonderful ghost host to step in and offer her a second chance at life to help those wayward spirits find a place where they can happily rest and reside.
And hello, I'm Cody. You probably know me as DM Cody from Wednesday night's game, and as Emerus from Monday night's game. And I'm Amaril. I'm an Eladrin, as they call me. I've come from the wilds. This place is rather peculiar, but they think I'm strange as well. I'm just here to write what happens and try to keep them out of trouble. Keeps me out of trouble that way.
Good luck with that one.
Also, I'd like to add, you might recognise me from way back at the start of this channel. I was in Monday night's game as Bilvana in Under the Moon Shadow for about the first 2 months of the stream before I unfortunately had to leave.
And we're so glad you could come back for this one. It's like bringing the family back together.
That was 1 roof ago.
Yeah.
Now I've got a fresh new one.
Yeah, the roof's not collapsing anymore. That makes me feel less anxious running this game.
Makes me feel less excited. The element of danger's gone.
So, as people have probably guessed from the intro screen, you are all various heroes who have accidentally, or intentionally for whatever reason, stumbled into a cabbage patch from a witch. And the witch has cursed you with a wasting sickness that, if you don't collect some things for her within 7 days, you will die. So your journey has taken you across a strange, winding path that doesn't seem to make a lot of sense to you, but it all seems to work on the map she's given you. She's also provided you with a scroll with instructions that once you've collected every single ingredient and you can't miss a single one or she'll know and she won't remove the curse, then you are to come back using the scroll of teleportation. You're allowed to take everything that is touching you as you use this scroll. So if you happen to find a cool stone in the forest, great, you can take it with you. She's also given you a small bag. It's a very small bag, no bigger than a coin purse, that seems to be able to transfer small objects, little herbs and things that you would pick up along the way that would be helpful to her. But you can't fit a whole lot in there. You can't seem to fit a whole hand in there. It's just a tiny little coin purse. It's like maybe this big. Shout out to Level Up Dice for my dice. So, it is the dawn of the 7th day. You've spent a long time walking to the Great Forest, which is where the map has sent you as your final part of the quest. You're not sure why this specific forest is why you had to come to this specific forest. I'm so good at words on 5 hours of sleep.
You're doing very well.
You're unsure why you've had to come to this specific forest, but it's the closest great forest that you could go to without having to travel across a boat for months. So if you come to the Great Forest, you have 24 hours, or at least until the next dawn, in order to find the heart of the forest and go home. You don't know what the heart looks like, what it sounds like, what it tastes like, what it feels like. You don't know anything about what the heart is. You were just told to get the heart. Even the witch wasn't able to give you a description of the heart. She trusted your judgment, probably unwisely. And you come and you are at the entrance to the forest. It's very thick, very dense, very wooded. It smells rich and earthy, but also at the same time like a tiny little bit of static is in the air. But it doesn't quite feel like normal static. It's an unnerving static. It's a static electricity that doesn't feel like you would be after a thunderstorm. It's something else. You're standing on the edge of the forest looking into the entranceway. Take the floor.
Right at the top of the day, as a divination wizard, I'm going to roll 2d20 as my portent. That's a 1 and a 3. That's
nice.
That's really
that
good.
Is really good.
Because this means at any point in the next 24 hours, anybody who rolls a d20, before they roll, I am able to say, I replace that with a 3, I replace that with a 1.
Ooh, spicy.
We're all in trouble.
People will be unusually clumsy when attacking us today. Thank you.
Only twice.
Well, we're here now.
Well,
Do you know
yeah.
what my mother used to say?
What?
I don't remember. Don't you know?
Also, give us your coin purse.
Maybe. Does anyone taste static?
I feel static.
I don't.
I see static. I don't quite taste it.
Yes, that's probably it.
Is he alright?
It's been like this for days.
I mean, he hasn't been this bad. Did he get knocked on the head yesterday?
I didn't do it.
It's like I say, cats are like cabbages. Come on, let's go.
Maybe some of these herbs we've been picking will might help him.
Look,
Maybe that.
I pick up a piece of grass and hand it to him.
Tastes like waterfalls.
Hey, see?
I don't believe that's an improvement, but I only intend to deal with it for another 24 hours. Let's go.
alright, well, it's at the heart of the forest, right? So, I mean, we can kind of assume it's probably in the middle.
Yes.
If it's something like a heart, it'll be protected. So,
How big is this forest? I'm assuming big.
do you have a map?
It's a great
Yes.
forest?
I start rustling through my pages to pull out a map of a completely unrelated area.
Oh, I think
Here
you're
we
looking
go.
for this one.
I'm not looking for it at all.
Alright, how big is the forest?
Super big.
Cool.
So,
Far bigger than like a day's travel could get you to the middle? Or...
No, you could step right across it.
so if you were to imagine a map of South Australia, the forest would be the entirety of the Playford area.
Okay.
It's big.
Okay. So a little bit bigger than the 1,000-foot radius of my locate object spell.
Yeah. I also had to look up locate object, and you have to be familiar with it for it to work.
Familiar, or you know its name and description?
We don't have a description.
I know its name. Okay, that's fair.
Would it be possible to do like an Arcana check or something on the like the static?
Sure.
Out of curiosity.
Can I
How
go
bad
first?
is my? Yes, can you?
Yes.
Or if you want to go ahead and do it, because I rolled a 11.
I'll roll as well because I have a +6.
Nice.
That's a 20, non-natural.
Cool. So you're both going to get the same base information. I'll give you a bit extra.
Cool.
So you've both heard reports of things seeming to disappear, and you're not sure why, but families have gone missing, animals have seemed to disappear, and no one's really sure why things have started disappearing. What you know as extra information is where things have seemed to disappear, there's pure white. Just white. It doesn't seem like light, but if anyone touches it, it burns. It burns worse than the hottest fire ever imaginable. And it hurts
And
so much.
This white stays there?
Yes, it never leaves.
Okay.
Nothing has made it so it can leave. And no one can seem to touch it, or you can put something inside, but it comes out so hot.
Okay. And all of this has been happening close to this forest, so I assume it's related to the static?
Everywhere. It's been
All over the
everywhere.
world.
The static
Oh.
seems to be connected to the white, and no one knows why.
Okay. I impart this information to the party and warn everyone, perhaps we should be a little careful with the static. I personally don't want to disappear into a raging hot white ball of nothingness.
Well, that does sound bad.
Yeah,
Oh.
doesn't sound great.
There's worse.
Well, I mean, yeah, there's worse. I mean, it's just death.
Sounds very painful though.
Have you been eaten by an alligator?
I can't say I have.
That's pretty painful.
Have you?
Well, yeah. Otherwise, I wouldn't be asking you.
It's possible it was just a wild hypothetical.
No. This it was my husband. It was not a great time, but we moved past that, and I say we go in, see what happens.
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk in.
Alligators.
Cool. So you start heading into the forest. It's very thick, very dense, very, very green. It's both bright green and dark green at the same time. It's certainly a very different forest to anyone has ever seen before. It's almost like the forest is more alive than just being living creatures. It's almost like there's a heartbeat itself inside the forest. And so you're walking down what seems to be more or less of a path. It's certainly more clear than everywhere else, so it should be a path.
Okay, I'm very suspicious of the path because moon elves have their kingdom in deep forests, similar to this one, and so I know that very obvious paths usually lead to some sort of trap or pitfall, so I'm going to be keeping an eye out to make sure nothing is hunting us or trying to attack us.
I will say for you, the forest does feel quite familiar. It feels homely, but like if you were in a stranger's home that has like the same layout as the home you grew up in. That's the kind of homely it feels like.
Cool. Okay.
Has anyone ever told you you're quite short?
Well, yeah, I'm a halfling.
So is that one.
So what?
It would be a good story if you were to both stand on each other's shoulders and wear some sort of coat.
That requires 3,
Oh,
traditionally.
No, I mean, I've done that kind of thing before back in the circus, but you know, it's not as fun as walking up on a tightrope. That's more my thing.
that
Did you
doesn't
ever
make a
have
good
one of
story.
you standing on the other shoulders on the tightrope?
I never thought I should have done that.
Wait. I go into my pack and pull out a length of rope and hand you one end. Tie it to that tree over there. You.
We definitely
We need
have
both
had
of you.
this.
All right, fine. You should get on top of my shoulders because I'm the one who can actually walk on a tightrope.
Okay.
Fine. All right.
Okay, so you're going to make a dex athletics check and you're going to make dex acrobatics.
Oh, does it have to be athletics?
You can choose between acrobatics or...
Because I have proficiency in acrobatics. That's a nat 20 plus 5.
You spectacularly managed to get up there. What's your roll?
I have +9, 15.
Wow,
Cool.
that's insane. What?
So you hold yourself very well.
No, expertise.
Like, even though you've never done this before, you do quite well. you feel him being unsure and immediately you're able to compensate for it.
And like doing like tricks and like high kicks and
Yeah, you're
jumping.
You're basically like a floor gymnast where you can just do flips and you just switch in between hands and feet as you go along. It's very thrilling to the both of you, and
While still holding my pink parasol in one hand, because of course.
Oh no. When you have to switch hands, you just delicately toss it like a juggle.
Yes.
Or you delicately place it between your lips.
Yes. Love it. I just sort of push him off and then land with a flip. You were saying?
Oh, that was interesting but quite boring. Chased by a horde of barbarians, they managed to escape across the rooftops just in time as the rope burnt.
I see you're not an appreciator of art.
I see you're not either.
You're very talented. I would have, in a moment, invited you to perform in my court.
Wonderful, thank you very much. I'm a bit rusty, I must admit. It's been a few years, but you know.
If that's rusty, I would love to see you in your prime.
Oh yeah, I was quite something back in the day.
But if you are, stay away from the rust monsters.
Yes. They taste like blood.
Whose blood?
Your own, of course.
Never tried it.
Why does your blood taste like rust?
Because I
am quite old now.
Because you are?
What are we doing here again?
Heart of the forest?
Oh, yes.
I mean, surely you've been taking notes, right?
They're all about.
But they're all about some random barbarian. Ice dragon? What?
Well, that's to come. That's for future notes. After you're chased by the barbarians, that can't be the end of the story.
I thought she was a divination wizard here.
Yes.
I've been giving him tips as to what the future holds.
Okay. Hopefully not for all of us, maybe. I'd rather not deal with the dragon. I've already gotten
Oh,
one
no,
enough.
I made that one up.
Makes notes for a fire dragon.
Meanwhile, by the way, I should note I also have a pseudo dragon familiar named Harold. He's a little green scaly dragon. It should be up on my shoulder.
I've been slipping him small pieces of meat for our entire journey.
Nice.
While you were on the tightrope, he was kind of like just upside down like a sloth crawling underneath and follow you along.
That's adorable. I love it.
So you're walking and talking as you're going along. You're keeping a watch out because something doesn't feel quite right because you know how forests work.
Mm-hmm.
Can I get everyone to make me a perception check?
Cool.
That's a nat one. Plus 1, 2.
7, as I'm showing her my book and what's to come next.
Mr. Reeves taps me on the shoulder and points around with a 15.
5.
Cool. So,
Should I make one for my pseudo dragon as well?
sure, why not?
Can I get advantage because I was actively watching?
Yeah, that's not that much better. It's a 5. So
I rolled the exact same number. It's still a 5.
I'm insisting a dragon looks as we
It
read.
wanted to be a 5. So you two are busy doing that. You're very busy watching out for anything that might happen. And you're also a little bit on edge from the static feeling.
Mm-hmm.
What you see is, well, it's not really what you see, it's what you specifically hear. It's awfully quiet in the forest. Usually a forest would be really busy, there'd be sounds of nature, of wildlife, maybe even of a river going. But for some reason it's kind of quiet. Like there's definitely almost like the feeling of breathing in the air, but there's not chitter-chatter.
I think we might be getting close to a farm or something. All the birds have stopped.
A farm in the middle of a deep forest?
Well, it's all we keep ours.
Fair. Not my usual experience with farms, but
I mean,
I
I don't know what
can't,
else it would be.
I can't be one to judge. Magic do I have? Would you, either of you, care to send ahead your little familiars, perhaps?
Oh, absolutely. And I'll send off Harold to go investigate a bit further, like just sort of fly up ahead. How far is Find Familiar? Because I still need to.
120 feet for communication. They can go as far as you want and come back and report, though.
Alright, well, maybe just I'd probably let Harold know to kind of just fly ahead and sort of somewhat of a circular sort of pattern outwards.
I signal to Mr. Reeves and Thieves' Cant and he runs off. Forward. It's stealth.
So your familiars start to head off.
Oh.
So your familiars start to head off, And they seem to, when they do report back, they seem to report back the same information. There isn't a lot out there, and the creatures that are out almost seem to be hiding, like they're scared of something, but they're not sure what. Your familiars don't really know why they're scared, but something must have frightened them awfully bad very recently.
Okay.
Some stories. Apparently everything out there's scared of us.
Oh, probably a silver dragon, like we said. We'll just give them sunflower seeds, it'll be fine.
What's under the white one?
What?
You said what?
What? What?
What?
Yes, I think so.
Well,
Should we hide too?
it's probably not a bad idea, to be honest, or at least try and be a bit more stealthy, I guess.
We could lie on the ground. It's hard to see you if you're on the ground.
Yes, but then we're not making any progress either.
My only problem is if we try to stick to the side and hide for whatever this is to pass, we have a very strict time limit.
Exactly what I'm saying, we should just keep moving, but maybe stay a bit off the path, just in case.
I heartily agree with that plan.
Like, follow the path, but maybe just, like, alongside it rather than on it.
Why don't we climb a tree?
Again, we're going to be stuck in one place if we climb a tree.
No, but then we can look from the top.
Yeah, but that's not going to get us very far given how big this freaking forest is.
We can find out where the farm is.
She has a flying creature who can go above the trees.
They didn't see a farm.
Where's your farm, boy?
My farm's back at the Shire.
I thought you said there was a farm in here.
I said there might be up there.
Well, let's go up to the farm then.
We will go to the farm
Okay.
a little bit on this side of the path. Because you know there might be traffic along the road, and we don't want to get in the way of traffic.
Oh, yes, of course not. Wouldn't want to cause a scene.
So we're going to stealth maybe like 20 feet to the side of the road.
Yeah, sounds good.
I'm so glad I told you all to just roleplay your hearts out. I love this.
At 23, I'm already gone.
14.
1. I might switch dice because I'm not doing too well.
10.
Cool. So you're all stealthing yourselves along. Now, the next important thing is, what are you looking for? You know you're looking for the heart of the forest, but what in your minds, what is your collective idea of what the heart is going to be? So what are you looking for?
Some gold I can take custodial care of.
Sure.
And distribute it to the poor people out there.
You are in the middle of the forest that people don't normally go to, but you'll keep an
There
eye
might
out.
be pirates who left their treasure or something.
You'll keep an eye out.
I'm looking for the largest tree, or a tree which is like shaped significantly, almost person-like, or something along those lines.
I'm thinking like a central grove or something, perhaps.
I'm
With
looking
something
for a
hidden.
friend.
Good luck with that one, mate.
The heart is going to end up being a creature, and it'll be his friend, and then we'll have to kill them.
Both.
Starting with me.
So you're making your way through, and you've all got your eyes out for various individual things. And you're walking through, and it takes a few hours of this careful stepping, trying not to make too much noise, because it's clearly something that's scaring the animals, so you're on edge and you're on guard.
Yeah, at this point it's me, because I'm so noisy.
Just with every step.
I'm a forest elf! What happened?
No, you're just brushing all the plants, so there's like... just
It's because you're wearing shoes.
I take off my shoes.
And,
your stealth immediately goes up.
and the fair elf gracefully wove through the forest unseen to all.
So you've been walking through for a few hours, and eventually you seem to find a part where the heartbeat sensation that was there earlier is a lot stronger than it was before. And you step out, and there is, in fact, a clearing. And on the edge of the clearing, almost like a crescent moon shape, there's a gigantic, really thick tree covered in all sorts of lichen, and it's got vines coming out of it. And it's got all sorts of twists and knots, and it feels so strong and so powerful.
Just gonna like stop just before the clearing and not actually go into it. Go. This looks a bit almost too obvious to be it, but it could be it.
Clearly a trap.
The witch doesn't know what she's looking for. We could bring her anything and convince her.
I have a really low persuasion. I don't think that'll work.
I'll do the talking, don't worry.
But you two, I think, are correct. This is probably some sort of trap. Perhaps the forest responding to what we want to find and making the most desirable situation possible.
What would we want to find in empty space?
The tree.
We can sit down.
That tree right there.
I could send in a sort of friendly helper spirit to, you
Harold?
know. No, not Harold.
Okay.
This would be Terence. Unseen servant.
I'm glad you're not risking Harold.
Oh, why would I risk Harold? It's wonderful. Yeah, so if you want, I could possibly cast Unseen Servant and send him in, see what happens.
How large is this clearing?
It doesn't feel super big. Like, you'd be able to set up a small campsite, but not a huge one.
It's not like hundreds of feet across.
No, it's still quite small, but it's almost like you get the feeling like if this were something for your people, this would almost be like sacred ground.
Okay.
That's the kind of vibe, like the setup feels like it would be a religious site.
Okay.
Is the tree less than 60 feet away?
Sure.
Cool.
59 feet away.
I don't know distances, so sure.
I'm tempted to send Terence in to go touch the tree and see what happens.
I could throw a stone.
We don't want to damage it though.
I could throw you.
I'd prefer if you didn't.
Oh. I'm not very good at throwing
What's your
anyway.
strength anyway? Honestly?
Not good. Not good.
I'm sure you would have tried your best.
Oh, yes.
Perhaps the Terence first. Just make sure to have him tread lightly.
Alright, I'll go ahead and pull out my parasol and just kind of plonk it in the ground and go, Terence! And
I love
an
it.
unseen servant, a sort of spirit, just wafts and appears.
An important question when you're shoving the parasol in, is it tip down or handle down?
Handle down. And then sort of parasol shooting out that way. So, and it's actually opening up the parasol to...
Perfect. And it goes...
Yeah.
Perfect.
And there's Terence, the unseen servant, and Terence, would you mind horribly if you could just go touch that tree over there?
You can't see him, but you get the feeling he's nodding.
Cool.
And starts walking. So Terence, now no one can really see this, but there is in the grass in the clearing, there's just the slight wafting of what you would assume are the little feet walking across. And Terence walks over, and Terence touches the tree, and nothing happens. And Terence walks back.
Okay. Nothing happened.
Okay.
So...
Why don't we just ask the tree what it's doing here?
I guess it means there's no traps. So... I guess we go up to the tree and...
I suppose. What do you think?
Okay, if there are traps, I can handle them.
Alright, let's go walk up to the tree.
Cool. So you all step out into the clearing, and you walk up to the tree, and nothing happens.
Cool.
Like nothing going through the clearing seems to happen, and you all go up to the base of the tree. Once you reach the tree, it's very big. Like, excuse me.
Ominous.
It's very big. Like, actually being in front of it seems a lot bigger than it seemed at a distance. It's like if the side of a house was a tree.
Okay.
It's very big.
Okay.
Shall we go inside then?
Is there a doorway?
Surely somewhere.
You can see one, yeah.
I start to do.
No.
No.
I start to do a perimeter of the tree.
So you're looking around, you don't necessarily see a door or anything. It does seem very covered in lichen, in little moss growing over it. There's like little hidey holes for where animals would live in it.
Mm-hmm.
There even seems to be some nests that were recently vacated even. But no doors.
Okay.
But it's very thick and very big, and it feels like it emanates power.
Looking up into the branches, do I see any movement, anything interesting?
You look up into the tree and you just see this little owl just staring down at you. It doesn't move, it's almost like it's holding its breath. But it's just staring.
Okay.
I knock on the tree. Hello, is anybody home?
Ah, it's sensible.
So as you knock, it feels warm, and the lichen on the side makes it quite soft to knock. But there also seems to be a deep ringing through, like deeper than you would normally expect for a tree. But it doesn't feel like a loud, like banging a drum. It feels like a tap just vibrates all through it.
Oh, there we go. They should have heard that inside. They'll be out in moments, no doubt.
I'm thinking maybe sending Harold up to talk to the owl, because it can technically communicate with...
What owl? What are you talking about?
That one!
That's a tree.
Up in the tree!
That branch just there?
Which one?
No, a bit to the left.
Do you mean the one with the owl sitting on it?
Yes, that one.
No, the next one.
Oh, yes, I see now.
The owl with the owl sitting on it.
The owl is on the branch that has the owl sitting on it.
There's 2 owls up there?
Yes.
I already see.
Well, at this point, Harold's up there, so... Yeah, there's actually 2 owls now, yeah.
Have you gone moon brain? That's not an owl, that's a dragon.
I found the dragon.
Silver?
It's green, actually.
So Harold is up with the owl, and Harold starts talking to the owl. There's a bit of chitter-chatter back and forth. The owl, it doesn't sound very loud as it does talk. It's very hushed. It's very quiet and seems almost like it's in trepidation. When Harold comes back down and reports back, Harold reports to you that they're not scared of you, but they're scared of the creature.
What creature?
They don't mean you, Mr. Reeves.
This is where your memory of the white stuff comes in.
Okay.
There have been reports before of, and no one can really describe what it is, but people have said that there has been a creature that seems to appear of pure dark, and then a shining bright white opens inside what they would think is a mouth, and then the white comes down, and then it disappears. And all people have been able to refer to it as is the creature.
So it could be a black dragon.
Oh, it's probably a boggy waffle. Nothing to worry about.
Well, at level 4, I feel like I can take it on.
That's metagaming. You don't know your level.
I don't know why.
Exactly.
I know my place, don't worry about that.
They haven't answered. I'm gonna knock again.
Cool. In our whole travel through the forest, have we seen any white patches?
Not where you've seen, but there have been points where the static has felt quite thick, and then you would move a few steps and it seems to dissipate again. Almost like it's emanating out of pieces, but you can't see where.
Okay. Thanks.
But you're not sure if it's because the forest is too thick or you just weren't close enough to see it.
Mm-hmm. So, you're knocking again?
Cool. You knock again and you seem to knock some of the lichen off, and the owl seems to jump like quite startled and flaps off really fast.
Oh, the other owl didn't go with it.
Harold! And he flies back down. So
Maybe
nothing...
that owl was the heart.
I think the tree might be the creature. Or
So if we all link hands around it and we can teleport it.
it's the size of a house.
We just have to touch it while we're linking
But
arms.
you tall racers have long arms.
Sure, I mean, we do. How's your, like, degree of spatial awareness?
It's this big tree.
It's
But all
essentially,
trees are
press one
big.
things, it's like either it's our size or it's big.
Well, how many pieces of licorice away do you think that tree is?
I don't know, it depends on how big the licorice is.
Four.
That's absurd, yes. Well, probably more like 5, I think.
Don't know where you shot, but you'd go elsewhere.
Can I have a look at where the bit of moss came off and...
Sure. You have a look at it. Roll me an Arcana check.
Okay. That is, let me switch it around, 16 plus, that's a dirty 20, I think. Yes, possible.
Delicious. So you have a look, and the tree isn't a colour you'd expect a tree to be. Trees are normally like brown, maybe whitish grey. trees aren't normally like an offset purple black.
Okay. You might want to have a look at this. And I just start poking it with the tip of my umbrella and just like trying to scrape a tiny bit more of the moss off.
Cool. So you start scraping at the tree. Cool. This is important. Let me know how much.
Just a tiny bit, just to reveal a bit more, to make it a bit more obvious for the people around me.
Cool. So more of the dark black, purpley black appears on the tree. And you get like a patch that's like, at first it was like a little bit, there was like the first 2 knuckle size. You get about fist size off. And it's quite clearly like a purpley black. But it's not a full black. It's almost like when the light glistens off, it hits like a really bright amethyst.
Huh.
Does it seem like the tree is amethyst or like gemmy, like gem-like all the way through, or it has a coating on top?
Make a... Is there like a natural history check in this system?
Nature?
Yeah,
Sure, do that.
Nature and survival.
Do nature.
And history.
Oof, that was so close to being good. It's a 13.
Roll me history.
Another roll. 12.
Cool. I'm going to use the aggregate of that because
The dice fail.
this is going to be quite useful because this actually is going to tie into both things. So you're not really used to the idea of a tree being a gem.
Mm-hmm.
There's certainly not gem trees where you come from.
Yes, I wouldn't imagine so.
Gems in the shape of trees is probably more like a dwarfish thing, but you're not super sure because dwarves aren't really your thing.
Mm-hmm.
But also at the same time, why would a gemstone tree that probably dwarves would make, why would that be in a forest?
Yeah, because like forests are a really elvy thing.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
It was clearly a human who did this.
Them pesky humans.
They would have got away with it if it weren't for us meddling elves.
Okay, just like as somebody who's really into trees, I don't like this.
Maybe it's not a tree.
Now,
That's the
important
feeling
for
I'm getting.
your goal, you wanted the idea of there being money. Now, gemstones are worth money.
Do I think it looks gemstone to me?
It does look pretty gemstony. Like, if this entire thing is a rock, this is worth a fortune.
Oh. You wouldn't say something. No. I pull out a dagger and hand it up. Mr. Reeves, get to work.
Here we go.
Ow, why's your monkey stabbing me?
Sort of not. He runs around like half, like it's because it's so big. He runs out like a quarter of the way around, so he's out of sight.
Mm-hmm.
Tries to
You just
Get
hear
a couple of
clicking
pieces.
sound.
Cool, so he starts digging into the tree. He starts chipping away at a bit, and he goes like, for a good minute, just hacking away. And then you hear something shatter. And as something shatters,
I snap my fingers and he disappears.
as something seems to shatter, it's like the collective held breath of every animal in the forest lets out at once and proceeds to scream and run.
Remember what that was?
What did you do?
Why did you do it?
Do what?
So you know that scene in The Lion King where the
Yeah.
antelope stand-
Yes.
Yeah?
You feel the rumbling through the ground of a stampede of every single thing that could possibly be living in a forest running for the nearest exit.
Is there like a low-hanging branch or something I can climb up or like climb up?
It's pretty tall. You would have to make a solid attempt at climbing to get up there.
Okay.
I cast mage armor on myself.
That's fair.
Mr. Reeves comes out of my jacket. He's like, "Did you get anything?"
Oh, it pulls out like some bits of the rock that did shatter off before it disappeared.
Well, all the animals can't be wrong. Ah!
So you start running, you're looking to climb something.
I was thinking about it, but I'm like, so where are the animals going? I'm like, are we in their direct path? or-
Literally, like, every direction possible. Like, they're going to start crossing paths very soon. Like, you would
So we're
assume
likely to end up getting caught in the stampede.
whatever way you go, quite possibly. Like, this is maybe going to be like 5 rounds, and then there's going to be a wall of animals.
Yeah, I think I might want to try climbing up into the tree.
I'm running in circles around the tree.
So are you going to climb the amethyst tree or a different tree?
I think I want to. Well, I mean, because if it's a really big stampede, there's a potential of like the amount of force being fronted at it that other trees could fall over depending on how big they are or thick. So I think I'm just going to try and climb in the amethyst tree and see what happens.
Cool. Can you make me an athletics check?
Okay. This is a bad idea for me. That's a solid, let's see, 11 minus 1 strength.
Cool. So it's going to take you a bit. It's going to cut it pretty close for when the animals start coming out. But
Yeah.
you do manage to get up to... You think the first branch is probably going to be a bit too low down. So
Yeah.
on the 5th round, you reach the second up branch and you feel pretty confident.
So I feel like once I've reached branches, I feel like should be pretty good at climbing up from there, up the ladders. So.
What is everyone else going to do?
I'm going to move around to where the shattering occurred and try suss out the situation.
Cool.
Wonder what happened.
So you move around to the side. I'm going to let you do the move and the first investigation in the first round, and then you'll have 4 rounds left.
Yep.
So that is going to be what's a good roll?
Investigation.
Investigation.
That's a good one.
Nice.
Roll that.
23.
Ooh.
Finally a good roll. My
Excellent.
pink dice never let me down.
So
It's so pretty.
Thank you.
So it looks like someone took a knife to the tree. Like someone was
Something.
trying to chip off bits, and there's almost like a fist-sized chunk just knocked out, and there's still tiny little pieces, little shards from where it had broken off and shattered onto the ground from that piece coming out.
You left stuff behind, Mr. Reeves.
The really tiny specks where you'd have to almost pick up dust.
Okay,
Still not good
from
enough.
the broken out area, does it look like the damage is spreading? Is the tree reacting in any way to...
You'd almost think it was bleeding. It doesn't look like blood you're used to. It has the same consistency of lava just slowly oozing out, and it's very thick and viscous, but instead of being black, it's actually a very, very light purple.
It's kind of a weird tree sap.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to pull out an empty vial and collect a little bit of that.
Cool.
That'll be my second round. Also, a question, how high up would the branches be?
The first branch, it'll take you about 3 rounds to get up to
I'm
if you roll badly.
I'm not asking about rounds, I'm asking about height. Round.
I am bad at distance.
Okay, meters,
This would be about 8 foot tall, this silly here.
If you gave a good running leap, you'd be able to grab a knot and pull yourself up to a branch. But you'd have to have a good running leap and good hand strength.
Okay.
This is what she had to rely on, which is
I have
to
magic. I have magic that can teleport.
of course.
Less than 10 meters?
Sure.
Great. Perfect, thank you.
Misty step. Yes. I was thinking of doing that because I had that as well. I'm like, I shouldn't use my other spell slot.
Oh, I don't miss playing warlocks.
So you're still running in circles?
Yep, screaming like a maniac.
Yep. What are you doing?
This has giant roots.
Yes.
Cool. Well, as a halfling, I can go into small spaces. So,
Sure.
slide down and stealth.
Sure. You nestle yourself real cozy into the knots of the roots of the tree.
19 on my stealth.
Excellent. So the
Get down,
animals...
Mr. Reeves.
I'm gonna trip him so he stops running, and I'm gonna grab him and say, you need to calm down and get your head in the game.
I'm perfectly calm, thank you very much. Brush myself off. Ah!
The poor microphone.
Sorry, anybody who's listening on headphones.
I'm not.
So you're gonna Misty Step up on the 4th or 5th round.
If I see an animal coming towards me, if I see him in imminent danger, I'm gonna Misty Step up.
So you're still gonna be in circles?
Yes.
Cool.
Cool. I wanted to help him climb, but he's doing his thing.
He is committed to running in circles.
The animals are doing it, would be fools not to.
So,
When in the forest.
5th round comes. The first of the animals starts to come out. A swarm of bats flies full pelt straight through as fast as it can. They look terrified. You're not sure why, but probably the shattering made them feel like danger was coming. They're flying full pelt fast as they can. They are skipping your parts of the tree. They see you guys in the tree and are like, oh shit. They're like, oh shit, didn't expect that. Then the ground animals start to come out.
Oh, guano.
So I made a list of the ground animals that have come running out because I was smart about this. So some of the miscellaneous creatures that come pelting out of the forest. You've got some various species of ape, you've got baboons, there's badgers, even snakes are like slithering as fast as they can or hitching a ride on another animal.
Yes. Oh my god, yeah, snakes on badgers.
Snake.
They're like any animals that have hands, like a lot of the apes are carrying snakes as much as they can. Like everyone knows you gotta get out right now.
And then, I mean, you said that the animals are going crazy and running in every direction, but they're running towards the tree to get past it?
Anyway, to the outskirts of the forest.
Okay.
They're just running to the edge.
And it seems they're just generally frightened. They're not running away.
Yeah, they're terrified. Like,
okay,
we're gonna deal with you in a second. There's also some deer, some giant insects like centipedes. There's even giant frogs are like hopping out full pelt.
Actually, no, I'm a forest person. Oh, hell yeah, centipedes.
There are lizards, giant lizards and small lizards. You've got owls, regular sized and giant, just flying mad as hell. And even some wolves are running full pelt out of the forest. Anything that can run out is. Now you're on the ground.
As soon as I said the apes running around carrying things, I'm going to look for one not holding anything and run towards it and jump and try and get it to catch me.
Okay.
Welcome to DM and Cody.
Now see, when I thought of this like a couple hours ago, I expected like people to fight some of the animals. This is better than I expected.
Way better.
These are just scared animals. Why would we fight them?
Yeah.
Have you met players?
And you have to be like the animals. They're being carried. We should be carried.
I'm just gonna look down at the tree and just look around and just go,
Let's see, strength check for the ape. This is gonna go great.
I'm like, Mr. Reeves, why don't you carry me around like that? He's like, I can speak.
That is gonna be an 12. I can count. That's gonna be a 12. So this ape sees you running towards it and is just like, whoa. And then like you leap out, it's like, oh. And you basically latch yourself on. And so it stops while you've latched on. It's like, oh, and just keeps running. It's not holding on to you. It's like letting you hold on for yourself. But now instead of like it being an upright run, it's decided it's just going to be top heavy and just go on all fours running.
I'm clinging to the underbelly.
Yeah, like you've got a lot of vibrations down here.
Everybody get on an animal!
Okay. I'm going to run for another hour.
So you're,
Yeah.
All of the animals are being super freaked out by this, so they're like heading away from us now, so I'm just like standing completely still, watching everyone part around me.
What other animals do I have to choose from?
well, there's apes, baboons, badgers, snakes, deer, giant centipedes, giant frogs, giant lizards,
giant frog.
giant owls, normal owls, swarms of bats, swarms of insects, or wolves.
Go for a swarm of insects.
Are there any giant eagles? Or are they going to come at the end of the story?
When it's too late.
If you so choose, there can be.
No, I got sold on giant frog.
You're just gonna like hop in its mouth.
And now I'm gonna run out and jump. If it decides to store me in its like mouth pouch, then so be it.
Cool. So you start running out, and a giant frog. I'm just gonna check the size of the giant frog real fast.
I'm size
This is
small,
gonna be
not
fun.
medium.
This is gonna be funny. Let's see, giants. Here we are. Regular frog. That's not what I want.
Regular frog.
It's like jump for it and squish it.
Medium beast, unaligned.
Yep, so it could carry you.
Frog can breathe in air and water. Haha.
I can move through a space of a creature that is a size larger than me.
Ah, Excellent. Giant frog. Actions. Swallow. The frog makes one bite attack against a small or smaller target it is grappling.
I accept this.
If the attack hits, the target is swallowed and the grapple ends. The swallowed target is blinded and restrained. It has total cover against attacks and other effects outside the frog.
Nice.
And it takes 5 2d4 acid damage at the start of each turn of the frog's turns.
So it's like, this is fine, this is good, this is good. Ah!
The frog can only have one target swallowed at a time. If the frog dies, the swallowed creature is no longer restrained by it and can escape from the corpse using 5 feet of movement, exiting prone.
I hope you have healing word or something.
So how do I have to
Not getting word.
Kill him.
That's up to you if you would like to kill the frog to escape.
No, I don't want to kill the frog.
Cool. The other way you can do it, now there are 2 options to make a frog regurgitate you.
Mm-hmm.
You can either tickle the uvula or make it laugh.
Oh, a good frog joke.
I'm the wrong kind of halfling to be able to talk to it.
But which kind of halfling can talk to it?
Oh, it
A
can't...
druid?
oh no, they're gnomes.
Yeah, no, yeah.
What's the most
Like-
important part of a beer to the frog? The hops.
You said that now, I can't say it. You ruined my... No. I don't have any good frog-based jokes lined up. Oh no, I knew.
How are you not prepared for this?
Hey. You might have to come back to me on that one. No, I don't want to do a build-up.
Quick to Google.
How about I ran out of petrol, so I'm getting towed?
I could have chosen
I don't have a
that.
car, so I decided to get towed. No, it doesn't quite work. I'm just going to try and tickle it.
Cool, you're going to tickle its uvula. Can you make a dexterity sleight of hand check?
Can I?
Tickle check, if you will.
I like the first one, but that was a bit... God. Well, 4, so 13.
Jesus.
Cool.
And I think that I was thinking my expertise in sleight of hand was not going to be relevant.
Aha!
Frog tickling never came into your mind.
Mr. Reeves, help!
And this is what you get when you doesn't master. So it's been like about a round or so. You start to take acid damage and you're like, maybe this wasn't a good idea. So you take the 5 acid damage and you go, nope, this was a bad idea. And out of instinct for something to do, you rely on your hands. So you just start reaching anywhere you can. You just start tickling the frog.
Mr. Reeves starts helping.
Yeah, it's just like anywhere you can. And the frog just starts getting agitated and eventually just go, bleh, and out you flop.
What?
So you've made 1 round, so you've gone a distance of, what is its distance? Frog jump is 20 feet. So you've
Also, Reeves wouldn't have been swallowed because it can only swallow one thing at a time.
Sure.
Reeves is on the mouth, latching on trying to tickle.
it's like on the lip.
Yeah. Mr. Reeves, that was a bad idea of yours. And I stand up and I start paying the acid off. I start casting mending on myself. I turn around and look at, I assume, another horde of creatures.
Yeah, so you're 20 feet away from the tree. There's more horde coming. Would you like to rethink your decision for an animal?
Swarm of insects.
That mammoth!
I didn't slick mammoth.
Oh, damn it.
There's some deer though. Close enough. Or wolves.
Wolves. I hear they're useful.
Sure.
People are always going on about them. There's wolves in my paddock. So, yep, I'll jump on a wolf.
Cool. It also has a bite attack.
I'm not going to try to jump in a wolf. They'll come later.
Cool. So now wolves don't exactly have, let's say, a saddle.
Mm-hmm.
So can I get you to make an animal handling check to actually get on?
Yes. 17. Although you do have a natural 1 up your sleeve.
That'll be on your death save.
Thank you. I appreciate the thought.
Your second failed descent.
So you managed to surprisingly well, considering it's running at full pelt, which for a wolf is speed 40. So it's running at its full pelt with a base speed of 40.
So for a little while I'm just running next to it because I can move.
Oh, I figured you were like trying to intercept and just gonna like hook yourself over.
Okay.
That was like where my mind was going. It was like, you know, in like the baton marathon where like they pass it. That's what I was picturing here.
I can move, yeah.
Waiting and then whoop,
So I'm like running at like super rogue speeds. I'm moving at 75 feet per round. Like,
I'm like a little halfway the tree usually moves to like 25 feet. I'm just like, what? I can do that?
He's just Sonic the Hedgehog now. So you run a little bit, and then you get like a good spot. There's like a really nice spot on just like its hackle, like right there. You can grab and kick yourself off and swing over and just land gently on the back of a very fast wolf. So next round you can make another animal handling check to not fall off.
three of us in this together, buddy.
It's not got a saddle or stirrups or reins or anything.
Got fur.
The fur is all you've got.
Hold it by the ears.
I think that might go badly.
That's fine.
Yeah, you gotta grab it on the neck, but like, and like you're not super big either. It's a medium beast, and you're small. So you can't exactly like get your arms around its neck quite well either. Like you can maybe just lock fingers, but that's not super strong. So you're gonna have to make another check next round to make sure you don't fall off. Are you two doing anything this round?
I look up at Lillian in the branches and I'm like, are we just going to let them disperse?
Well, the thing is, they're running away towards the edge of the forest. We need to go further in, if anything.
Yes.
Important question, who has the scroll from the witch? Good. Important to check.
I mean, but also I think the two of us could probably get this mission done by ourselves.
Yeah, that's probably true, actually.
Yeah. Like the two of them can go off and live their animal lives. We can get this done, they can die tomorrow morning. We'll be
fine.
Yeah. Cool, we do nothing.
So yeah, I stay up in the tree.
So it is a knuckle on a death save.
Actually, hang on a minute. Let me check something.
I am evil.
Are any of them still within 30 feet of me, or are they all like out?
What was the speed of that ape?
Where did it catch me on the way through or on the way out?
That's also a good question.
Because I can telepathically speak to any creature I can see within 30 feet of me.
Ooh, it's on 30, so it would be like just out now. Because that was the first round, and then your first round was in the frog, so it's 2 rounds now.
But the branches are really long, so she could like crawl along the branch to get.
Well, it depends as well if it pick me up on the way past or on the way.
Yeah.
Remember, this is a crescent moon. If you try hard enough, you can just run along the branches that connect all of them to reach the end of the clearing and just run through all the treetops.
Yeah, so if there's any way for me to move to within 30 feet of them, I will.
What is your speed?
My branch is 20, and my speed is 25 feet.
Do you have anything that can make you go faster?
No.
Dash.
I mean, I could Misty Step, but...
Yeah, with 25 versus the 30 and the 40 from the ape and the wolf.
Is the thing a bonus action?
No, this is just...
Awakened mind, you can just do. I don't think it's
Yeah,
So
it's
you could
just
do
an ability.
movement, action, dash, and do 50 feet.
Yeah, I'll do that, yeah.
Cool. So you start running as fast as you can along the tree line.
Yay, for being a tightrope walker and able to do that.
Yeah, I'm not going to make you roll. Unlike everyone else. Because you're more or less used to this. Like, you know just the right spots to not completely fall to your death again.
Yep.
Like, you got more practice in since then.
Yeah, absolutely.
You realise you shouldn't allow yourself to go rusty on something where you could die.
Yeah, that's probably a
You've
good
been there
idea.
once, not again.
Yeah.
So you're very delicately running across the treetops. So I'm going to have you catch up to them next round.
Okay, cool.
So, back to the top. You're on the bottom of the baboon.
Still screaming.
Yeah, can you make an animal handling check to make sure you don't lose your grip holding the animal? Never has animal handling been more apt.
Do you mean aped?
Perfect. So
That is a 5.
yeah, you fall off. Like it's very juddery, and it hits like a really like solid bit of the ground where like it had a divot, and it smacks the small of your back, and you go yeah, and drop.
And like at that age, you gotta look after your back.
Oh, don't I know it, girl? I've already got a bad back.
Come back, Harambe!
I was going to end poorly for him.
So you're on the ground. The rest of the swarm is coming and you are prone. I will let you have one extra action, either to move or to hide, to duck, just something if you would like to try and dodge. Otherwise, you're going to be laying prone on the ground in front of a horde of running animals.
I stop to think for a moment and then start screaming, running back at them to try and make them skitter around me.
Sure. You pick yourself up and you start running.
And if there's another ape, I will jump and try and get caught.
Next round. Your turn.
I would like to take the rope I have in my backpack and make myself a harness.
Now, there's an important question here. How many hands do you need to make a harness?
4?
Because you also need to hold on, because your legs aren't exactly going to get to be able to lock underneath without stirrups. So you still need to hold on. So how many hands do you need to make the reins?
Go, monkey boy, go.
Would it be an acrobatics?
Monkeys, he said 4 hands. Monkeys are the prehensile feet. It can use its hands and its feet to make the harness while he continues to hold on.
Or the monkey could jump under the wolf, give you its hands, and you can lock onto that and make like a collar.
Stick around his neck.
The other question is your familiar able to have enough dexterousness to tie reins?
All it needs to do is take my rope, run around his neck, come back up, and then I can tie the rope.
Once you grab it.
Once I've grabbed it, yeah. Because I've got my cunning action as a rogue, so it's a bonus action I can use an object. And hopefully that'll allow me to do it somehow.
So in that case, that's important, because otherwise I was going to make you have a disadvantage on trying to tie the knot. So that's going to cancel out the disadvantage, so it's just a flat roll to try and do it.
Performance check for the rope part.
Performance? I think acrobatics? Maybe sleight of hand?
Sleight of hand.
I don't know.
I would
History?
actually give it sleight of hand.
History check.
20. Unnatural.
This is how the ancient Romans used to tie knots.
So very delicately, you realise that it is going quite bumpily, so you're not going to be able to use both hands to tie the knot. So very carefully, you do in fact manage to use one hand and your mouth in order to manipulate it enough that you can kind of tie the knot shut, more or less, while holding on, more or less. And then you're able to quickly switch to holding with both hands.
I've all been here before.
More or less.
Now the
Last
other
one was a horse.
Now, the other problem that you have to consider is how tightly are you tying the rope?
Let me just check my nature's roll of 10. 11. Probably not so much that I strangle it.
Yeah. So it's firm, but it's not going to cut its neck off, and it's not going to be too loose. You're not clotheslining the wolf.
The body keeps running.
So you're not clotheslining the wolf, and it's not super loose either. It certainly feels like if it's going to run for too long, it's probably going to jostle it off. But for now, you'll probably get a few rounds, at least, of it being in a decent spot.
Yeah. Shall I do that? Then I look up and I see you running back the other way. I'm like,
Screaming.
Yeah. Your turn.
Alright, I'm going to go ahead and use that wonderful awakened mind thanks to the ghost host and the great old one patron, and well, I'll essentially move to a point where I'm in range to, because I see you running back the other direction, so I'm like, oh, he's actually finally got some sense. Alright, and then
It's this one I gotta catch down.
and it's like to say, hey, listen, it's Linian, by the way. Don't we want to go in the other direction? That's towards the edge of the forest.
Mr. Reeves, I think you've made a miscalculation.
You're trying to steer it?
Yes.
Okay, animal handling.
17.
Cool.
Surely it doesn't want to, though.
Just jump off the wall.
Roll a d20 again.
Then I lose my rope too. It was worse I could be rolling.
That could have been for the wolf to want to fight.
Yeah, that was for the wolf resisting.
There you go.
Hey, nice.
It's like,
Okay, then.
I'm panicking. He seems out.
I'll point out the int of a wolf is -4 and the wisdom is +1. So either way, this went great for the wolf. So you very forcefully move it to the side, this way. And it very clearly is and follows because it's still quite clearly panicking, and it's going wherever the leader is going, because wolves are used to traveling in the pack. It wants the leader to tell it you've usurped the position of the leader at this point in time because of the rope.
Yep.
On its neck.
Well, I'm just doing what Mr. Reeves, who's standing on top of its head, pointing he's saying, he's in a mood. I'm not.
So you turn the wolf back towards the tree.
is there not a ladder and running off in front of you?
I got 45 feet of rope still attached.
Listen.
Drag you along.
Drawn and quartered.
This is the Old West.
So you're still trying to get another ape to carry you off?
If there's one around, I'm just going to jump towards it.
Okay.
Is there one around still?
Let's find out. Highs or lows?
Highs are good.
Define good.
Natural
Amazing.
20, you absolutely get an 8.
Oh, that sounds like a giant ape to me.
Yep.
You know what? Yes.
As I run towards him, it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's like, oh, I'm friends with Harambe!
Cool. Stats of a giant ape. Huge beast, unaligned. Strength +6. Speed 40, climb 40. Hit points 157. Oh boy, it has action, rock, ranged weapon attack, +9 to hit, range
help me.
50 to 100 feet.
Okay, so picks him up and throws him back towards the clearing.
The hit
Win-win.
die is 76 +6, bludgeoning. So, on a related note, does anyone remember the Fastball special from Marvel Comics?
Yep.
Okay, so the Fastball special is where Colossus will throw Wolverine at about 200 miles per hour plus.
Snicked.
So, a la Colossus and Wolverine, you're running full pelt towards the ape. The ape has seen you talk to this one, more or less, and sees this one turning around and realizes, wow, the human-looking things are stupid, but a distraction.
I'm a halfling looking stupid thing.
Which, by the way,
Humanoid.
is impressive given great apes have -2 intelligence. In my opinion, that should be very different. Now, it should be at least a +1. Apes are very smart. Now,
It's smarter than a peasant.
Peasants are pretty shit.
Yeah.
smarter than that. So you're running towards the ape, and the ape's like, oh.
I see that look
In
in his
its
eyes.
mind.
It's working!
It's got that twinkle in its eye that it knows something good's about to happen. So you get up to it, and you leap. And as you leap, it almost seems to plant and twist itself with its feet, and it grabs you underneath and just fucking hurls you back towards the tree.
So it's sort of going, as it does it.
So you have very rapidly changed direction. Now, now I'm curious as to whether or not you'd reach terminal velocity. Probably not, but you're going very fast.
Are you gonna hit the tree and crack it more?
Now, I don't particularly feel like doing the maths in order to calculate how fast you're going to go as you hit the tree. So I'm going to say it's a lot,
One more.
because its base rock damage is 7d6 + 6. So,
Fair.
Going out the dice.
let's see what I can grab out from here. I'm not going to do all 7. You have some padding.
My face. That was a 1.
It went all the way across the room. Thanks, dice. It was a d8 anyway. Let's see, where's some more dice? I had some prepared earlier.
Use these if you need.
Did you get his name to put in your saga?
Yeah.
He can make
Seemed
it.
rather curious, that George.
I thought it was going to be Harambe Senior.
5d6, this will be fun. Oh boy, there's 2 6s in there. Let's see. 21 plus 6. So 27 damage.
Out of my 26 hit points.
So it hurls you back at the amethyst tree. And you see it getting closer and closer. You're like, this isn't what I expected.
Surely this is right.
And you go, whack, and so you know how
Slide down the tree.
so you know how like Wile E. Coyote would like go donk, like full on arms forward, but because it's so big they're like
Arms to the
sideways.
side.
It's
Yeah.
like almost an angel pose. Donk. And just a
Does this count as a long rest?
You last.
maybe.
The amount of times we've asked you
A
that.
forever rest.
I have a plan.
Go on.
So did I. Look at that.
Does anyone else heal apart from him? Because I don't.
I'd just like to point out that I said high was good. That was not good.
Excuse me, that was great. I didn't say it was good for you or me. And it was a natural 20, which means spectacular.
I'm just looking down from like the brunch going, well, guess we got another one, ghost host.
And to be fair, that was supposed to be 7d6. I gave 5d6. So that was
Wouldn't have
like
mattered.
up to 12 damage extra you could have had and you didn't.
Wouldn't have mattered.
While all this has been going on, I'm just like looking at the tree, doing my elfy thing. I look at all of my rings and I'm like, okay, it's this one, this one, this one. I pull out a copper ring, put it on my hand, put it against the tree, casting message, which requires a copper wire. And I'm going to try in Common, Elvish, Sylvan, and Draconic to speak to the tree and ask it what's up, assuming this is a conscious creature.
Cool.
Damn,
So,
don't I speak with plants.
I'm a wizard!
cool. So you cast message. And you know when like someone has a phone that reroutes and it's like that little click sound and it reroutes somewhere else?
Roots.
So you know that rerouting sound? So you kind of get the feeling of that through the tree. Like you feel the connection and it almost seems to transfer somewhere else.
Okay.
Get sent to a different branch. I'll leave.
You need to leave.
Make like a tree and get out of here. So the message reroutes and it connects to someone else.
Okay.
And they're like, who is this?
You pretty who it is.
Lady Kaylin, who is this?
The keeper. Who are you people? What have you done?
I've done nothing. There was a halfling or something who had a monkey.
Okay, good. Not incriminated.
Where? The keeper of what? Where are you? It's very important that I find you.
I'm further in.
What direction? North, south, east, west?
The center.
Okay. Okay. Could you come towards us and I'll meet you in the middle?
Oh, you're at Amethyst.
Yes.
Okay, Amethyst should be southeast of me. I'll be there shortly. What did you do?
I have no idea. There seems to be a wound in your tree.
Why is everyone screaming?
I don't know. All of the animals were very quiet. And then something shattered and then everyone started screaming and running away.
Shattered?
I heard a shattering noise. I didn't see what happened. But like, there's blood and I'm trying to push it back in, but it doesn't seem to be working.
Okay. I will be there in 20 minutes.
Great. TGYL.
Click.
Okay, I call up to you on the branch. The keeper is coming. Don't know who that is, but it sounds pretty good, right?
Well, I guess. I think we've got a slightly more urgent situation to deal with, though.
Mr. Reeves, reverse drinking tavern trick. I hand a healing potion up to him
Nice.
and pours a healing potion in your mouth.
Now, I could make a Dragon Age Inquisition joke here.
Yes, make it.
Where it's like, Healing potion. They're actually salves, not potions, so
Yes.
you shouldn't be drinking it, but there we go. You went face first into a tree. You now wake up, there's this tiny spider monkey, is it? Standing over you, pointing very aggressively, holding an empty flask.
What an evil monkey.
Your face feels like you've been hit with a frying pan, but no frying pan you've ever dealt with before. Almost like it was a gemstone frying pan. And not just your face, like every bone in your body feels like it had a really nice evening out with this frying pan.
5 hit points.
So,
Are we talking Rapunzel level frying pan or worse?
sure. Like, this is a solid frying pan made
I
of.
could do with one of these.
Remember, this is fractured fairy tales. Fracture. So, speaking of fractures, you have a lot of fractures in your bones that are kind of more or less back together from the potion. Still really hurts. You've got all the muscle pain and tension of the break still, but the bone calcium itself has reknitted back together. But it feels like you're on the first level of exhaustion from hitting this tree.
Bit like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa, Wolfie. Have we worked out what's going on yet? Keeper, who's that?
No idea. I spoke to the tree and then it like rerouted, perhaps rerouted, I'm not sure. Maybe there was like a route that goes all the way from here to the center, but I spoke to the keeper, who was a person. This tree is named Amethyst, and the keeper was not happy about what I think your monkey did.
What? Mr. Reeves, he just brought him back from the dead.
The thing before that.
That's maybe not the best thing either.
The returning from the dead?
Helped tame from a wolf?
Well, yeah, he's kind of inside us now.
Yeah.
I didn't see you catching any monkeys.
Well, no, it's because I didn't have to.
Are you referring to
No,
this
it happened.
damaged bit of the tree that Mr. Reeves found?
Yeah.
He brought over this piece of gem for me to look at.
Anyone have mending?
Yeah.
Fix the tree.
Fix the tree.
I think this works might work like a cake stopper. Mending.
Cool, so you cast Mending. It doesn't work.
Mending. Well, like a keg, once it's open, you can't get rid of it. Can't? Yeah,
No,
stop it.
I take it back. Sap is like really sticky, right? Very viscous and sticky. So I take the gem, I cover it in the sap that I've been collecting, and try to just like stick it back in there and hold it till it dries.
Yep, so you do that. So it's gonna be like a lot of holding, like the
I have
tree.
20 minutes.
Yeah,
We
you
have
got
20 minutes.
You have 20 minutes. The tree seems very resistant to retaking it back in.
Okay.
You're not really sure why it would be, but gemstone as trees isn't really your forte,
No.
which is why you're not sure. But a normal tree, you know that with like a bit of love and tender care from a druid or a nature wizard, they would probably be able to make it retake, but you don't really know how it would work for a gem.
Okay.
Like, you're not really about rocks. Unless you have to, as a spell component.
Yeah, but like rocks are just like hard and unyielding and really uncomfortable. The closest use I have for rocks is like a crystal orb, and they're not
Exactly.
even the best use.
Exactly. So it's going to take a while for it to set, and you're not even sure if it's going to set properly.
Okay,
But
after
you've got 20 minutes.
I think you're just damaging it more. I probably should take that back off your hands.
a couple of minutes of me feeling like it's not going right, I'm going to take it out and hold it just in case the keeper wants it.
Keeper said 20 minutes, right?
Yes.
Seems like the center of the forest is a lot further away than 20 minutes, so I guess some kind of
Probably,
magical
yeah.
means, but that's useful to know.
If you get thrown by a big monkey, you go quite fast.
Too fast.
Let's just get a really large monkey to throw all of us. That's a brilliant idea.
I'll look around for a monkey that's taller than that big tree. Do I see one?
Well, what did you roll?
9.
No. You don't. It's almost like the stampede actually finished up after you got slammed into the tree.
Mr. Kong.
We need a giant lizard to fight it.
There were giant lizards that were running.
Were they alligators?
They could have been. There are actually alligators.
Even more reason
Were
to
they
be up in the
kaiju?
tree.
No, the kaiju comes later.
I'm still just like hanging up in the tree, just looking down. Like, if there are alligators around, I'm not getting down anytime soon.
I think they're quite far off in the distance.
Okay. Oh, I always hated this bit. I have to try and get down, and I'm gonna try and
I'll
climb
catch
back
you.
down.
I stand underneath her in case she falls.
Mr. Reeves, rope. Hand him the rope. He peers up there, ties it off, ties it
Brilliant.
down.
Thank you. I'll just slide
It's
down the
really
rope.
handy when you get locked out the top story of your house. And you have to get back in the window.
Fair.
Now, rope climbing comes very naturally to you. I wonder why.
Yeah, I wonder.
So you very delicately, like, you don't even have to roll for this. You just immediately, delicately, with even a slight twirl, just make your way back down.
Nice.
You could have jumped down with that parachute you have there.
It's a parasol. I know. I wouldn't want to break it. It's kind of a sort of family heirloom, that kind of thing.
But you could have Mary Poppins the shit out of this. It would have looked very cool.
I'm
Who's
Mary
Mary
Poppins, y'all.
Poppins?
Oh, this old elven legend. Don't you know about her?
No, I don't.
I'll have to tell you the story once we're not trying to save our lives.
Is there enough time for a short rest in this?
Well,
She
maybe.
relates to Mr. Pippin.
Maybe. Depends how long the short rest goes for.
An hour.
Oh, damn.
The
Yeah,
story of Mary Poppins. I think I wrote that one.
Did you? That's very impressive.
Yes.
How old exactly are you? It's a very ancient tale.
I don't know. At least 7 days.
Short-lived race.
Or probably longer, I imagine.
So,
Probably.
probably. So with that case, this was actually the exact point in time I actually wanted us to go to break.
Cool.
So excellent.
Perfect.
At about 9 to 9, which is quite perfect, we're going to go to break while we wait for the keeper to arrive. So real time, it's actually going to be like 20 minutes. Huzzah! See you all shortly after the break.
When the keeper gets back.
My hair is.
Yes.
There we go.
Cool, so we are indeed back. It has started raining
most of
outside.
So I was agreeing with being green screen. So
So it has started raining outside, so this is going to be awesome for everyone who has to go home tonight.
just make it rain in game and we're fine.
I mean, we're in a forest. We can hear the leaves rustling. It's perfect.
True, it is absolutely perfect ambiance, and no one can tell me otherwise.
I don't think it picks it up on the microphone.
I'm sure it's fine.
Well, the audience just thinks we're crazy. What else is new?
I mean, they haven't gone crazy, right?
Either or. So, welcome back everyone, we're glad you decided to stick around. So it has now been about 20-ish minutes. Probably give or take, you're not really sure. You're kind of all just sitting around waiting, telling the story of Mary Poppins, and more or less.
I'm busy healing myself because I was almost murdered by a giant ape.
Also that.
It was being nice.
He did
It
his
wanted a
best.
distraction. So,
Boy, did it get it. I was very distracted.
sure did. So as it comes to about 20 or so minutes, you're not totally sure, the tree starts to glow, and it goes from the deep black purple to the really bright purple of the sap. And then a little doorway opens up inside the tree.
Yeah.
Oh, the cracks are getting bigger.
Oh, about time. I knocked more than 20 minutes ago.
And out steps a strange little woman. She's very clearly an elf. She's very, very clearly got all the pointed features of an elf.
Cool.
Which is why when you spoke in message,
Yeah.
in Elvish it went through.
Okay.
She very clearly steps out. She's very woody, very earthy. All of her clothing seems to be made from the materials of the forest.
Yep.
She's got very pointed features and eyes that are such a dark brown they almost look black. And she steps out and she's like, okay, I got here as fast as I could. What did you do? What?
It's my sleight of hand. I'm surprised anyone noticed. I mean,
Okay, what did you do?
my monkey found there was a loose piece of tree bark and it fell out of his hands. Apparently, then sap started falling out.
Sir, that is impossible. The Sendings trees are pure, perfect, complete stone. They don't shed bark.
That might have been when the giant monkey threw me at it.
The animals have been terrified. They wouldn't be running for nothing.
Maybe they were afraid of that monkey.
Yes, well, he was quite violent.
The terror did seem to coincide with the breaking of the tree. I didn't see exactly how it broke. I heard it. He was acting very suspicious.
Oh, that would be why everyone panicked.
He never acts suspicious.
No.
Did you say call it like a ascending tree or something? What is this tree
I mean,
actually?
she scraped it with a parasol just moments before.
I knocked off some moss.
I knocked it too.
I saw it got smart. And, I was thinking, well, if that happens, then a dagger might even do more, which is why I did not have my monkey do it.
Yes, that's a very good idea. That would have been terrible indeed.
It's a roll deception. 16.
Sure. the moss is fine. The moss always grows back.
Always.
My master said that the Sending trees were the keystones of the various points of the forest. If we needed to fast travel to the different areas, we would use the trees in order to travel faster. Why did... what monkey?
Oh,
This one.
no, we're talking about the big one.
The big one.
Yes.
Harambe Senior.
Yes. I think it was George. He was quite
George.
curious about me.
That's not their names at all.
That's ridiculous.
They responded.
Of course it's their names.
Why are you all here?
We'd love to get to the heart of the forest, or see the heart of the forest, or meet the heart of the forest.
Be the heart of the forest?
I don't think be. Definitely, like,
But
be
if-
adjacent
The heart of the
to-
forest was the friends that we made along
If
the way.
we could be the heart of the forest, then we'd be finished.
No. The last group of people that came into this forest looking to see the heart brought the creature here. You are all leaving.
Okay.
What is the creature?
Haven't you seen it?
No.
Oh yes, the giant monkey.
No, we
Ruby at
haven't.
the tree.
Please describe the creature.
It's a monster. It's so tall. It's taller than the tallest trees of the forest by so much more. And it's a mouth. It's just
Its mouth is
A mouth.
white and glowing.
yes.
Okay.
And when it bites, it just takes everything, and there's only the white is left. It's already bitten such big parts of the forest. It took the keeper. It took the people that came before, and it bit the heart.
Oh, I can take this rain.
Have you tried asking it simply to leave?
It doesn't. This.
Shout louder if it's that tall.
Do you know where it is?
Or at least where it was last seen, like where the damage is, and we can maybe track it from there.
It just goes. Once it eats, it moves somewhere else, and it just seems to disappear past the white. No one knows.
But if we find the heart of the forest, then the woman, that nice woman who cursed us all to death, said she can get rid of it.
A curse.
I don't remember her saying that.
Well, she said we have 7 days, and if we don't, we'll die.
That's 12 on your hands.
What's the curse?
See my hands here? 6. I show her that 6 of my fingers have like blackened, and one of them is like starting to go grey, like from the tip down.
That rain is really picking up.
Yeah.
The static's building.
Yes, clearly the creature is getting closer. You have to help us.
Wait. You didn't see Spelda. Try and find the name in Sanskrit and not actually checking the pronunciation before using it.
I should not help with this.
Okay.
That's how demons get started.
Okay.
I'll start drawing the pentagram.
That one. That. She said you didn't see that name. Sanskrit is not my forte. I speak French and English.
Pierre.
You didn't see her, did you?
Did we?
Yes, probably.
The witch didn't give you her name, but
Could I mean, I going by your reaction, probably the one who cursed us with this is.
Do you have a picture in like a locket or something?
no.
If it was her, would you be more inclined to help us?
Much silver around in general.
Did she say why she wanted it? The heart.
She was very adamant in not giving us any information. It was fantastic.
Something about we damaged her cabbages.
Well, yes.
I mean, I didn't.
No, you stole them. It's quite different.
Oh, I mean,
I accidentally just stepped on them, but you know.
Yeah, it's part of my destiny to mess up her cabbages and come to this forest and something about the heart, and I'm definitely going to be the one who kills the creature, the beast.
Right.
Yes.
I'm just here to write my book.
I'm the main character, obviously.
Right.
Oh.
Then you must have been sent by her. She sent the last people too.
They were trying to help.
Oh, my master didn't tell me a lot about what they were supposed to be there for. I only recently got this job.
Well, tell us your name. I'm sure you're doing very well at your job.
No, I don't think
Ariel.
so. Looks quite upset. She's probably doing quite poorly.
Thanks, that's super helpful.
Oh, you're welcome.
She's trying her best and doing what she can.
Oh, that's not good enough. You have to do better.
Don't listen to him.
My name is Sahariel. I was the previous second of the forest. I was supposed to take over from the keeper when he eventually went into retirement, but he wasn't supposed to for at least another 100 years.
Mm-hmm.
But the creature... My master was taking the previous people who came to see the heart, and the creature bit. They got the creature to run as fast as possible, but it still got caught. Most of it got out, but it's hurt.
So what is the heart?
Come with me. You can't travel by the sending tree, so you'll have to walk, but follow me. And she starts walking through the forest, through much more dense parts, not the path that you were on before, it seemed adjacent to the path, but it seems in different areas, and it's almost like it seems to cut corners through the forest by taking you off the route.
Mm-hmm.
So you follow along with Sahariel?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you follow Sahariel for what feels to you guys like a few hours. Like, it's a long walk.
Cool. I trust her implicitly.
So you follow Sahariel along, and eventually, after a really long walk, like, you're getting really tired. You especially. you get already having that one level of exhaustion. You're really feeling it. Like, you're probably going to get arthritis early.
I'll just regenerate.
So after a few hours, you come to a place. It looks almost like a hut. You would hazard guess it's probably where she lives, but you're not super positive. And once you get there, in the not too far distance, like through the break of the tree line, there's something incredibly bright. And you feel that static really strongly here. And that bright white is through the tree line.
Anyone else seen that?
Yes, it's light.
Yeah.
It's a really big house.
Is that the creature?
That's the bite.
Oh.
How long ago did this happen? The summoning of the creature and the destruction of the heart?
9 days.
Do I know with my Arcana roll from like the beginning of the game how long the whitening has been happening all over the world?
The whitening has been happening for the past couple of months.
Okay.
But it's been escalating more recently. In the past about 2 weeks, it's seen the bite marks of the creature seem to increase exponentially.
Okay.
It's just biting more and more things.
Well, it's... Sorry, go ahead.
No, you can keep talking. I'm trying to find my image reference. There it is.
Hey, Mr. Reeves, how do you feel about a scouting expedition? Just get slapped across the face by a monkey. I think that's that. Yeah, okay.
I mean, given the damage Mr. Reeves has already done so far, it's probably for the best.
Well, what about your pet owl?
I think he said
Harold.
Pet Harold, but in his accent.
What's a Harold?
The owl.
Oh.
Yes, Harold, do you want to maybe take a closer look? Or at least maybe have a look around, see if there's any other bits of white?
So Harold takes off of your shoulder and he gets to a few meters of the white and he already feels that burning sensation that he should not go closer, this is wrong, and immediately just flies back. But it goes as far as he can see.
Just like filling the horizon?
Yeah, like it's a big bite.
Just super weird.
Right, so basically this white just kind of keeps on going that way. So...
Is it like a tear in space and in the sky?
So you know the stereotypical like cartoonish bite mark where it's got like the little divots? Like that on the land itself, and it's just pure white.
Okay.
Someone's eating the book that we're in.
Yes.
I go up with a rock and just hurl it in.
The rock, you
Goddamn
throw
silverfish.
it through, and as soon as it hits the barrier of white, it just passes through, and you see the stone superheat. So like it immediately just gets the super bright red hot as it travels through as soon as it touched.
I think I know what we're dealing with.
Please do tell.
Time eaters, they're called Langoliers in another story. They eat time, so we're out of it. We need to get back in time.
Have you encountered these before?
I had now, I think. I think I wrote a book about it.
That will explain a bit.
Yes.
Oh. So, the creature got hurt?
No, the heart did.
Could you please show us the heart?
Yes, it's in the hut. And she takes you over back to the hut, which is actually really close to the white. It's kind of worrying how close it is. And you come inside this little entranceway. It's very clearly like a treehouse style hut, but on the ground floor. And as you open it up, it immediately goes to a tree line along the edge. and standing against the edge is this little guy. He stands.
Heart of the forest.
He stands. I hope the people can see.
Probably not well.
Probably not well. I drew this the other day. I'm not super proud of how it looks, but I did my best. So the heart of the forest is a heart. A male deer is called a hart, or a stag. I was so proud when I did that. I realised that pun.
I saw the draft of that picture. I didn't realise the pun.
Neither did I. I realised today. So the heart stands at well over 6'5" at the shoulder. It's huge. Like, and then the head, and then all the antlers. The antlers reach far into the tree line, and the tree line is pretty tall. Like, on my image reference, the tree line starts at the top of its head, and its antlers reach through into the trees. On its antlers, they're covered in moss and lichen, and it's got vines stretched across each of the antlers and between them. Its skin is a rusty brown coated in green, and it also seems to have all these strange reddish markings that seem to almost glow from the inside. And its eyes are pure black. And the power of the beast feels so incredible. It feels even more powerful than the tree stones that you saw before. But the most prominent thing you notice is it has 3 legs, because its back left hind quarter is pure white. And there's no leg left, it's just where it attaches to the skin.
Oh,
Well, you're big.
I get it now. Wait, we have to take him back.
Anything we touch. Now, please excuse us a moment. We could just go right now, but like that wouldn't look really good on my resume. And I'm trying to get the most experience I can, and like the most like buff up my skills section and all that.
I say we just go for it.
I can rewrite that for you.
Just say we took it and you came along to try to stop us. And succeeded after saving the world. Or whatever we're doing.
I think the saving the world part will be stopping the beast. Does that seem like something we can do? We are level 4.
Yeah.
What do you mean by level 4?
Oh, archaic elven terminology, you wouldn't understand.
Okay, but I say we just go now.
Just like take it?
There is a problem. If
What?
that's the heart of the forest, we don't have all of it.
Yeah, but it's kind of all we've got.
And if we touch it, isn't it touching the bite? Might we not take that with us?
Don't really need its heart.
No, I think we need the whole thing, because the whole thing
Otherwise, I
is...
guess we could take the heart of the forest. It'll be a bit bloody for my tastes, but you know, I've had worse.
And just like imagine the size of the heart from that thing. It would be like very big.
You go.
Yeah.
If we were to take this creature out of here, what would happen to this forest?
It would still live so long as it lived. The forest is directly connected to its life. That's why I was so scared that it wouldn't make it. If it dies, the forest dies.
Well, you could always replace it with some good farmland.
Deforestation, let's go.
Can make a lot of money with logging.
Oh, no, not if that's all dead.
But then it will destroy the farmland's potential within like 5 years because of erosion.
It'll be a good 5 years.
Actually, no, as speaking as one of the longer lived species, well, not compared to you two, yeah. That's probably not sensible then, yeah. Can you roll a nature check?
Best idea
Yes,
ever.
deforestation it is.
You please replace that with your 1.
What was that? Leonardo DiCaprio is paying us to burn down the forest.
Nice, I remember that joke.
Oh, forests aren't my thing.
Well, are we thinking the witch is here to help or to make it worse?
I don't think she knows this is going on. Because this would have only happened 2 days before she sent us along.
That's true.
She would have only known that her... She would have only known that her previous group failed.
Well, you could teleport back to her and ask.
You do know that the teleport spell is 1 use, or
Yeah.
scroll is 1 use.
She knows that.
But we could get another one.
That's a bold assumption because you'll need 2.
Yeah. want to get back, then
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
fair.
everyone's
Because
got
we've been traveling for like 6 days already.
okay, no.
Yeah.
I, by myself, touch the heart, take it to the witch, ask her, is this what you wanted? Do you want the rest of it? Do we need to fix the forest before we give you the heart?
Where did that other elf go?
Oh, she's doing the job.
Oh,
So Ariel, she's still here, is she not?
I thought
Yeah,
about
she's
you.
currently like. Oh, talking about
If
you.
you just teleport off.
Oh, no, I'm still there.
For reference, though, Sahariel is working on the heart, the
So
stag.
she can hear everything we're saying about like
She's like looking after it, tending to like she's trying to like put salve onto the wound site, but she can't even seem to get close to touch it. It's just so hot, and every time like she tries to get close, the stag seems to wince.
Yeah, if she's not getting close to it, does the stag seem to be in pain from its wound?
Oh, it does not look happy.
Cool.
Why don't you send your invisible friend to help it?
that might help her still get damaged and disappear as well. I mean, spirits can only do so much. Fortunately, Terrence isn't up to the job, I don't think.
Well, if you teleport off, I can look like you and I start pulling out like a pair of elf ears.
You'll have to get on her shoulders.
I've got a full Owlish disguise kit around here somewhere.
You'll need
Oh, that makes 2 of us, actually.
That's handy because we're trying to be something to touch ourselves. Trench coat, 3 halfling size trench coat, 4 halfling size trench coat. Yeah.
Why don't we just kill the beast?
Because
That's a very Gaston thing to say.
Kill the beast!
Oh, I had a cousin once who had an injury and it got infected, and he had to cut just beyond the infection. Perhaps if we cut away where the white stuff is, then it won't be connected to the bite.
You hear like a really loud, angry from the stag.
Yes,
Great.
right, we should do it.
See?
I have a -1 in animal handling, so I'm like, oh yeah, this stag wants us to do it. But also, like, it's so big. It would take us at least like 17 hours to cut all the way around that.
Mr. Reeves!
Oh god. It's time for surgery, Mr. Reeves.
Mr. Reeves is my spider monkey to the red people who just raided us.
Oh yes, and Terrence was my unseen servant.
And now to our wonderful raiders. Welcome to Fracture, where they're currently trying to figure out how to get the heart of the forest, which is a giant stag which is over 6.5 foot to the shoulder tall, back to a witch using a teleport spell.
I mean, like, we can achieve that very
It's a
easily.
question of should
Yes.
we, not could we.
I think magic works in the way that you tell it. If you can tell the story well, the story of what you're trying to achieve, that's how the magic works. At least that's how I've always done it. This story wouldn't be complete if we just took the heart back to the witch. We have to do something about the creature.
I don't know, some great stories have started with halfling thieves. Not that I am, no, and not implying you are.
Oh, no.
There's a secret for you. Most stories are written not entirely truthfully. I know.
Don't say.
Yes.
What was that about barbarians and dragons earlier?
Yes, you dealt with them quite deftly. Well done.
Oh, absolutely.
We're not writing the story though. Our quest to be completed successfully, we have to work with the cliches, with the.
Okay, do you have a piece of fruit I can eat, dear?
Yes,
The freshest possible, please.
the kitchen basket is just around the corner, and she points, and there's like the corner being like a tree, and there's like various baskets. Because everything that's a corner is just a different tree.
I go around and look for a piece of
This is
fruit.
quite literally a tree house.
Preferably a bright, big, shiny apple.
Sure, you find a big red shiny apple.
I hobble back around. Well, I found the heart of the forest. Shall we give it to the witch?
You know what? You start heading back to the witch's house, just like start walking, and we'll catch up with you if we can't think of anything better.
I already thought of something better. We tell her this is the heart. We take the stag with us. We make sure it's invisible, and if she means ill, well, we make sure it stays invisible.
How do you propose to turn it invisible?
Oh, like this. I touch it and it disappears.
So you touch the stag?
Yes. And cast invisibility at second level.
Cool. So the stag like glares at you as you walk up, and it's like, even though it's invisible, you can feel its eyes just piercing down your neck, and it almost sends shivers down your spine. Like,
There we go. I think we've got it. I'm just going to take a step back for safety.
When it turns invisible, can we still see the white bite mark?
yes.
Okay.
Ah.
So that will be a little bit obvious. Great idea otherwise. You're doing very well.
We can put one of my coats over it.
I will say it's quite disconcerting to see a patch of bright hot white just floating in the air like this high up off the ground.
The question is the fight going to come with it in the teleportation, or is it going to stay here?
That's my worry. If it comes, probably won't go well. I don't know what it will do to the spell.
Not if we remove the shanks. I mean, leg.
I think if we try to cut it, the white hot area of burning energy will melt our blades.
We'd have to probably cut a fair way. I mean, you saw how Harold really couldn't even get that close.
Exactly. I don't think cutting or slicing or performing surgery on the heart is how we're supposed to do it.
I just remembered what my mother used to say.
What?
She said walnuts are like teapots and you should crack them and eat them. So I think we should teleport and be done with this. I think it will all go well.
My dear,
Yes.
looking through your sending trees, using your magics of the forest, is there any way you'd be able to give us an indication of where the beast is right now?
I could try.
Yeah?
And she kind of like delicately gets up, like kind of really nervous, like, and walks over to a pure perfect stone that seems to be like melded other gems. There's very clearly an amethyst that matches the tree you saw before, but each almost piece is almost like a wheel, like a roulette wheel that has like different gems. I know what you're thinking.
Practicing sleight of hand already.
And as she walks over to it, she seems to put her hand over it and kind of just delicately touch each one, and they all seem to light up. Almost like an old computer screen where like you've got the buffering bar and it just goes in the circle. That's kind of like what it feels
Spinning
like.
beach ball of death?
Yeah, that's what it feels like, as like they all just simultaneously just start to illuminate and light up. And the entire thing just turns into like a bright, multicolored orb, or not orb, but a flat circle of a screen. And she just seems to be mumbling in Elvish, checking in on each of the points. You can tell that what she's saying is she's checking each single stone and seems to be looking through the eyes of the Watcher animal. So the owl that was on the amethyst before was the Watcher. And each single one, it's almost like speaking each animal's name with the accent and using its call in an Elvish accent.
Dude.
Quite literally. And she reaches the end point. She's on the second to last one. And she seems to stop dead, and her hand just starts shaking. And she pulls her hand away very quickly, and all the colour immediately shuts off. It's on northeast. It's coming to eat more. It's coming back, it's coming to eat more. Oh God, no!
Well, the only way you're going to be safe, Mr. Hart, and you, nice lady, is if you come with us.
What about the rest of the forest? What about the animals?
Well, if this animal's alive, you said it yourself.
The forest
She'll
is
survive.
Well, the remainder of the forest hasn't been ate.
There are hundreds of thousands of creatures that live here. They're going to die if the creature continues to eat.
The thing is, I don't think we're really capable of dealing with something that literally eats whole sections of land.
I don't think we really care either. That's not what we're here for.
We can either save you and the spirit, the heart of the forest. The spirit of the forest will live on in the heart, Or we can all die trying, most likely, to kill the beast.
They can also save that apple.
I mean, I can help with that, but you know.
With the dying?
Saving the apple.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, we don't want to be restless spirits wandering around later. I have a really, really nice kind of mansion set up for later, don't worry.
I suppose everyone did run when you broke Amethyst.
Prepared the forest just in case.
Yes, let's smash all the trees and the animals will run away.
Please don't. It's going to take so long to fix that properly. Hopefully,
I collected some sap.
But yes, if we have all seeds and all the animals run away because we break the trees, and then we take the heart to the witch, the forest will be able to be rebuilt.
That's not grow the forest elsewhere.
how that works.
This is going to be a terrible story. I'm going to have to do so much work.
Yeah, I think a lot of editing is going to be involved, probably.
Hopefully the animals know to run away when it comes close. They've already kept a watch. Fine, do your spell. Take the heart and myself. At the very least, I can help it.
We could try talking to the creature.
You start.
Okay. You have to go to it then.
Well, it's northeast.
Okay, let's go.
Through a tree? And then bring us back, preferably?
I can try, but
That's the only way we're going to be able to do it. So we'll need your help, or let's teleport out of here.
I know you're scared, but this is what you've been working for years now. Looking after this forest, keeping it safe. It's what your master would have wanted you to do. You can do it.
right. And she kind of picks herself up and she looks out the window for a moment. And she seems to shudder and freeze and quickly turns on her point and walks back to the stand like, okay, it's time to go.
Wait, I look out the window. Is it outside?
It's huge.
Mm-hmm.
Even though northeast is, you're in the direct center of the forest right now. So in the middle of the compass points, it's again northeast.
Mm-hmm.
And even though it would be like near the edge of the forest, it is so much taller. It comes over the edge and it's this black, huge spot.
Mm-hmm.
And then the black separates and white just appears. And there almost seems to be the definition of teeth, but the inside is pure white. And you see it just tilt down and crunch down. And all that spot turns white as it pulls itself back down and seems to just almost dissipate through the white.
It's bright light, right? Would magical darkness do anything?
I can honestly say I've never tried.
I mean, it mostly seems to consist of shadow, the creature.
No, I meant the wound. Because it's bright light, that's so. I mean, it depends on the property. I mean, can I do an Arcana check to figure out, like, if it's like.
Sure.
I'll assist.
Yeah, thank you. Because that was a 5. Ooh. 13, a bit better. 13.
Now change that for a natural one.
So 17 total.
Chaotic
Cool, so
evil.
17 total. This doesn't feel like any magic you've ever really seen before. It's completely outside of the scope of anything you've ever seen. Even your spook master wouldn't know. It's never seen anything like this. The only thing, it's a word you've never really heard very often. It's a word that's not talked about, but the only word you can think of would possibly be entropy.
Okay.
That's the only thing that seems to come to mind, but you don't know how or why this would fit.
Right.
I absentmindedly picked up one of the baskets full of goodies. I think we should go.
Yes, northeast, you said, dear?
Go away from here or go towards the thing?
Towards the thing. We discussed this.
Did you just see what it did?
Yes,
We knew that's what it's been doing.
Yes, but it's one thing knowing and seeing it.
So by this point in time, the static wave has travelled fast enough from the epicenter of the bite that as you're discussing this, you all feel like the sudden, you know when you suddenly touch something and you get a sudden static shock?
Mm-hmm.
Now imagine that times like 100 and all through your spine is like, and that's the feeling of the bite emanating out from the bite site.
Okay, don't say food.
Let's go to the witch, shall we?
Why?
Because if there's anyone who's more likely to know what's going on or possibly how to fix it, it's probably her.
Why would she want to?
Because if it keeps chomping away, it'll eventually get to her house.
And eat her cabbages. She doesn't like that.
No,
How
she
long does
doesn't.
it take to activate the tree? Like, could you pop me over there for like 2 seconds and bring me back?
Isn't it a minute cost for?
It depends on what spell she's using.
If it's the one I'm thinking of.
Cycle.
No, if it's
It is whatever I pull out of my ass. Thank you very much.
I think it's tree walk or something because
Oh, tree
Quick
stride.
stride.
yeah, whatever
Tree
it's called.
stride
But
action.
Transportation by points.
It is whatever I pull out of my ass. Because I don't know shit about the spells in this edition.
no, we
So
check
it
that
is-
spell book.
It
It's
is
a custom world
thematically
magic.
appropriatism.
Because from memory, there's one that essentially transports you via trees to another tree,
That's
and
just-
it's
that's
a 1 minute ritual
Yeah, that's
cast.
one action.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's an
Cool.
action.
Up to a kilometre.
No, that's all of the world. So tree stride
There's two
is...
very similar spells, yeah.
Yeah, so tree stride is you personally can like just jump between trees within a range. Transport via plants is you open a portal in a tree and to any other tree in the world that you're familiar with and can walk through it.
We're gonna go with that one because that
Yeah.
sounds like what the sending trees are doing.
Yeah.
Based on my bullshittery.
Yeah,
No, that's
earlier.
what you read before and decided to do, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
100%.
So, are you happy with the 17 I just rolled?
For what?
The slider,
Exactly.
the slider hand roll I just did.
Are you stealing my spell scroll?
Yes. You said
But
you're going to
you
go
don't
to
know.
Are you
a
gonna be
giant
able to
monster.
cast it?
Fuck! Damn it! He gets the trees.
Yeah, that's
Is your,
cast it.
hang on, is your 1 or 3 gonna count for this?
That's what I'm asking.
Ooh.
Oh, you could.
As soon as you said that you're going to go to where that thing was, it's just like... what,
Technically,
miss?
you're supposed to do it before you roll it, but we had no idea that you were about to roll it, so.
Yeah, okay. Do you notice?
Well, I rolled a 7 plus
Cool. We both rolled
1,
sevens.
8.
No. Not my problem.
Okay, well, if no one notices, then yeah, you're gonna take it.
No, I'm gonna use the 3. I'm saving the 1. I'm gonna use the 3. I'm keeping the fucking scroll.
12. I assume I get called by your passive perception.
Yeah. Very. Yes, I'm gonna say you do.
Just like reach up to your backpack or whatever it is.
Smack you. It will take you but a moment. You guys can stay here. Send me through the tree. Keep the portal open. Bring me. I'll jump right back through. I just need to be close to this thing for a moment.
Okay, but please don't get close. If you see,
I need to be within 30 feet.
if you can see the teeth, you're too close.
So
I can see them from
towards the
here.
backside.
Right, make sure you're careful out there. And remember, teapots are just kettles that don't need as much fire as I inspire you.
Thank you very much.
How close was Harold able to get to the white?
Harold was able to get a few meters away. Harold,
Okay.
Hell yeah.
but that was the huge patch.
I could send Harold through.
No, I need to be close.
Okay, fine.
Okay. You can't.
You all notice that you can get a lot closer to the stag one, but the size of its bite is so much smaller.
Yeah.
Cat, is anyone here practiced in arcane casting?
Wow.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Sometimes.
You're dismissed out of hand.
Well, kind of, I guess.
I gesture like that, my hands glow.
Yes, I am.
Some would say I have expertise in the matter.
Okay. I'm sad that I wasted my 3. I'm going to leave the scroll here. Don't teleport away without me. I will be back in 12 seconds.
I'll take it.
Okay, I will ask her to pretty please cast transport via plants. It doesn't have to be, technically, it doesn't have to be to a gem tree. It can be to any tree that's close enough.
Yep. So she's going to send you via the gem trees because it is the main route of transportation. It is actually a lot faster to transport through the gem trees than the 20 minutes estimate she gave you.
Mm-hmm.
So you
prepare.
figure something was keeping her busy for most of the 20 minutes. And the rest of like the 30 seconds it actually took to get there is the actual like time spent walking.
She was hiding her stash, wasn't she?
So, she takes you to a doorway which again has all of these coloured stones, and she reaches up and she touches one particular stone.
Mhm.
This one is citrine.
Okay.
So she touches the citrine stone and it lights up, and the colour of citrine opens through this seeming doorway.
Okay. I run on through. Can I see the thing super close to me?
Yep, so you step through the citrine door,
Yep.
and you come out in front of the citrine tree. Now, the citrine tree is about 15 metres from the bite site,
Okay.
which is
Can I see
why
the
she
creature?
panicked.
Wait, is the creature here?
So this is where the bite had just happened.
Yeah.
Now, here's the fun part.
Oh no.
So when the creature bites, there's the potential that it will take one bite or it's going to go in for multiple bites, and you can never be sure.
I look up. Is the creature bearing down on me right now?
So, highs or lows?
I really want it to be.
Well, it doesn't
Go highs.
matter either way, because go highs.
I have to keep the one for what I'm doing.
Okay.
So, can I narratively say that it is pretty please there? I want it to be there.
Highs.
Or lows.
It was highs.
Okay, thank you. Okay, it's bearing down on me. I see it right above me.
So it is not necessarily bearing down directly on you. It's like slightly off to the side. So if the tree is here,
Yeah.
it bit here before, and it's biting here this time.
Cool.
So you're here.
Cool. Okay.
So you look left and you see the bite. You look right and you see the looming gigantic mouth. It looks entirely like just a black mass of something. And the black mass parts and that white opens up, and it's so hot and bright, and it's so tall. It's taller than the tallest trees. You could stack 50 trees on top of each other and it's still taller than that. It's gigantic.
Okay, I'm going to point at it and say, you stop that and put everything back right now. I'm going to cast suggestion. And it has to make a wisdom save. I give it a natural one. It has to do what I say.
Okay.
Hashtag legendary.
Cool.
Please, let this work. I know it won't, but it would be so cool if it did.
I'm gonna roll
Can you cut in
one
words
thing
to make
real
it
fast.
Glamour school.
Cool. So you see it stop.
Yeah?
It was about to bite. You see the mouth shut. And it seems to turn and looks. It doesn't have eyes that you can see, but they might just be so far away that you can't see them. And you know that thing that cats do when they're about to throw up?
Yeah.
Where it's like...
I'd be like bathed by waves of static electricity right now.
Oh yeah, it's like the static pulses
Yeah, my
every time
parents like
it
to speak.
Oh yeah, it's massive. And eventually it goes, and it's like a tiny little hole, just like a going, and out shoots a leg.
I run back through the tree, I grab the scroll, and, well, no, I run back through the tree. Is the deer
Did you
okay?
grab the leg?
Oh, I assumed it, like, went back.
So like it's really high up, like the top of the mouth where it's spit out. You see something flop out of its mouth and just starts dropping, and it gets faster and faster.
I cast my enchant and catch it.
Yeah. As it gets close enough, you realise it's the stag's leg.
Okay.
It is the hart's leg.
Okay, I mage hand, catch it, bring it back to me, run back through the tree.
Yep. As you catch it and you turn, it's like reopening its mouth to bite something else.
Okay. Get away from that.
I'm like peering in through the portal going,
I like barrel right into you.
I was like, what?
It's a big boy. So you know how kaiju are traditionally pictured as like gigantic?
Yeah.
This is like twice the size of the standard big kaiju. This is Lovecraftian horror level huge.
Cool.
This is ginormous.
Cool.
Did you speak to the creature?
I spoke to the creature and it gave me this leg back.
Oh, good. Problem solved.
You very clearly see it matches the stag's leg. Is the stag still invisible?
Yes.
Cool. You hear a snort of seeing its leg. You can't see except where like the bright white is. I will point out the other side isn't white. It is literally the raw rendered flesh.
Okay.
It's not white on the inside.
I'm holding it a little bit far away from me.
healing potion.
Yeah, has anybody tried it pouring a healing potion on the white fire?
I meant the bleeding leg you've got.
No, I think we need to
Maybe we need to attach it.
Yes.
If we could just maybe a couple of mage hands.
You dear.
Yeah, just like
You're
hold
a
it.
good forest.
Yeah, I'll offer up.
I'll wait
I'll
till
just
they
kind of
stop
shoot out
bickering.
mage hand. So
Do you know how to use the magics of nature to heal by chance?
The only real thing I would know how to do like, she's very panicked at seeing the leg.
Yep.
The only thing I would know how to do for this is glue it back on.
I do think the burning white fire might melt the glue.
I've seen before, if someone gets their arm chopped off, you put it back on and put a healing potion on it.
That
cauterize the wound.
actually isn't a bad idea.
I'm just worried.
I'll take the potion with my mage hand so we don't have to get close.
I'm worried.
Mr. Reeves, I think you might be having a job.
I'm just worried if we try to hold the leg towards the wound, it'll burn up with the flame.
I don't know.
The rest of its body is it
Could we
non-burning?
maybe like move it close very slowly, and if we even see this hint of it heating up, we'll take it away.
Yeah?
If that was going to happen, surely it would have burnt the whole creature by now.
Well, I don't know how this magic works.
I will point out the white is very static. They never seem to move. The only time they grow is when a new bite is done. But they're always static seeming. Like, that's the bite mark.
Yeah.
Well, if someone loses a finger, say, in some sort of gambling situation at the docks, you've got to put it back on really quickly. The longer we wait, less chance of it.
Why don't we just move the stag away from the bite mark?
Has anyone tried that?
Like, so the stag is like periodically moved around the room, and like
It
you
stays
know
attached.
because the light is there.
Alright, well, we know where, at least we know where the bite mark is.
Yes.
So, why don't we try that? Like, just slowly sort of inch it forward and see what happens.
Mage hand. Actually, it's too heavy for mage hand, so I'll like.
Oh, I thought, if I can maybe help with mage hand and maybe get my, it's been less than an hour, right? So Terrence should still be around to help.
Sure.
He'll be at the back though, making sure that, like...
Cool, okay,
Mr. Reeves, lend a paw.
Cool, yeah, everyone's helping. We're slowly maneuvering it.
Cool. So you're all
Yeah.
holding this leg like upright. So
It's
basically, the
floating
way
leg.
I'm picturing this is going to work is you're going to hold the leg upright so that the stag can kind of like shuffle itself into position.
Yeah.
I will point out the stag is walking on 3 hooves.
Yeah.
So it's not the most graceful of stags at the moment, but it's currently invisible, so you don't know.
Any chance we could see it again?
Yes.
Good.
You have to be a bit more expensive. Can we see it again now, please?
I wouldn't think so. It's invisible.
Well, can you make it uninvisible?
Yes, but why would I?
So that we can make this a bit easier to do.
Look for the glowing white spot that's moving around the room. That should guide the way pretty well.
Okay, fine, let's just get this done.
He does have a point.
When you're right, you're right.
Like your mother always said.
If it's not 3 chipmunks, it's probably going to be an acorn.
Okay, I'm gonna
That is a hell of an acorn.
maneuver it
Yeah, well...
and pour the healing potion. Please let this work. That would be sick.
Okay, so what order are you doing this in? You're going to place it and then pour? Or are you pouring it onto the...
I
At
think
the
maybe
same
pouring
time.
while
Yeah,
we're getting,
while-
like, slowly... I'll have the mage hand, like, slowly dripping it on.
Yeah? So slowly dripping it as it's getting closer?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So this half is still invisible.
I
And
hope we're going from the right direction.
It's got 2 front legs
I
now.
have, like, a sort of slightly wrong turn, like...
you realise you can just kind of like stick your hands out and try and like pat for it to find and like because you can
But we
feel
don't
the
wanna get too
outside of its
close.
muscle.
Yeah.
You can touch its neck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the neck isn't super close. Your druidic friend couldn't get super close to the wound site, but could attend to the rest of the.
Right, okay, cool.
So it's just the wound site that was really hot.
So, yeah.
You could get about that close to it.
Oh, easy.
Cool,
peasy.
so yeah, keep using mage hand for the potion even still, so...
Yeah. So you can find the correct side. You're not going to put it on backwards. And you line it up. I will point out the really weird thing with it being currently invisible is the white is like either side. It's like
Yeah.
a perfect sheet of white.
That's what I was concerned about. We would like approach from the wrong
Yeah.
side and like hit the invisible deer.
Yes. So you get the correct side, you line it up, it holds its position waiting for you because it's going to be too much shuffling like up and down to try and do this properly. So you start gently pushing it forward and you start pouring the health potion down and you see the bright white, it does sizzle. It sizzles quite a lot, but the sizzle that's
Siege to perfection.
Yeah.
Is it joining?
it's starting to join. The white slowly starts dissipating and melting further and further as the flesh starts to reconnect. And eventually the white is completely gone. And the leg is still visible. While the rest of the stag isn't.
One leg.
So there's one visible leg, but as like the last of the white light is gone, you start to see the leg start to twitch and move. Like the stag is checking that it's
Like
connected.
the nerves.
Yeah.
Well, in which case, quick, now, grab onto the hair,
Yeah.
pull out the scroll. Now? Hello, everyone?
Yeah, I'm grabbing on.
Yep, everyone links arms.
Yes.
I'd use my final spell slot to cast invisibility on the leg. And then do.
Alright.
At least you're holding on to it. So even your new druidic friend even holds on as well. And you cast the...
I'll cast the teleportation.
Yep, you cast the teleportation and you are all whisked away. Everything connected to you gets pulled, twisted. It contorts slightly, like it almost takes your breath out of your chest.
So, apparition.
Yeah. And then all your breath suddenly shoots back in again. And you wake, you find yourselves in the cabbage patch. On her cabbages. Once again.
Natural 20 on stealing a cabbage. 29.
So you are now in the cabbage
Wasted the 20.
That's not a waste.
The heart begins eating the cabbages.
Yeah, how much of these cabbages is a giant invisible heart crushing under the roof?
Surprisingly, it's actually quite delicate. It managed to land directly in between every cabbage.
Wait, did Sahariel come with us?
Yes.
Cool, we didn't just steal her deer.
Yes, Sahariel is with you. So you all appear in the forest. She's also somehow managed to avoid all of the cabbages.
Oh my god.
I haven't trodden any of the cabbages around me, so...
You stole a different one instead.
No, I stole the one I would have trodden.
Smart. So, you are in the witch's cabbage patch. It is 7 p.m. at night.
Okay.
So,
12 hours before the deadline. We are so good at this.
Let's take a rest.
I could do with an hour's kip, actually.
Which?
Whatever your name is, we've got the heart.
yes, what is it?
We have the heart and the herbs and everything.
I hold up the apple and look around.
We have...
And like you see the witch, and she's very different to how you originally saw her. When you originally saw her, she seemed like this really strange old crone with flesh that almost seemed to drip. She doesn't look like that anymore. She actually looks like some like 25-year-old that's like got a face mask on. And she's just leaning out the door like, what?
Is your mother home?
My mother has been dead for 500 years.
Oh, well, then we're
Is she
probably
buried
fine.
back? Yeah.
Have we
Let's
been
go
traveling
then.
for 500 years?
That spell made me feel weird.
Hang on, I haven't got the right face on. And she pops herself back in.
Who does?
And like a minute or so later, out comes the original witch you saw with like the melty skin.
That's better.
Oh, hello, we just met your daughter.
We have the heart.
Staring you right in the eye, she just pulls her face off and puts on the face you saw before.
Oh, that's horrible. You killed your daughter and took her face? What kind of a mother does that?
It's like these masks I've got.
Who did you kill? Why did you take their
I haven't
faces?
killed anyone! That was a total lie, and that warrant was totally null and void.
And she seems to slip that face, which now looks like a mask, like into just a pocket of her dress.
When she took off the mask, what was her face like underneath? Was it just like a blank slate?
Yeah, it just looked like a plain flesh colour. Like no features or anything, just plain flesh.
That's real funky, I like that.
And then she puts the fresh face on and like all the features light up. Like it even changed eye colour.
Okay, well, we have your herbs, and here's your weird little teleport pouch. He's got the apple.
There we go.
That's not the heart.
What do you mean?
Do you have like a dispel magic? Can you dispel magic or something?
Yeah.
Cool, because you want to do it in, I think, maybe that general direction?
The giant heart.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The thing I wanted originally.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is the spells. Yeah, the thing I wanted
No.
originally. I didn't know what it looked like. I just knew it was a heart.
Yeah.
You realise a heart is a stag, right?
Well, we
The
do
heart of the
now.
forest.
Oh, in
the stag
halfling,
in the
it's very
forest.
different.
You could have been a little bit more precise.
Heart sounds more like hearth in halfling because it's like the heart of the home.
Languages are very interesting.
I thought you said the half of the forest.
I can speak
Meaning
many.
You wanted us to bring half of the forest to you. I was very confused.
Oh, gods above, no, that would have been way too many trees.
That was why I was so confused.
And that's why my mother didn't trust peacocks.
Sensible.
And the witch seems to walk over to the deer and she kind of strokes it slightly and like she's like reaching up quite high. Like she's about 5'5" or so.
Yeah.
So like she's still like a good like
She's tall.
she's
She's tall,
but
she's essentially either our size or big. She's big.
she's still shorter than the stag.
Yes.
So she still has to reach up in order to touch its flank. And so she does start petting it. And it does seem to glow as she pets it. And she's like, good boy, come with me. We need you for the purposes.
Okay.
Cool, she's gonna kill the forest.
And so she starts leading the stag. Like, she doesn't even have, like, a rein or anything, but, like, just with a finger, it just pulls and just walks casually along.
I'd like to make a perception check for an abattoir. Natural 20.
There is no abattoir.
But you're sure of that?
You're incredibly sure there's no abattoir. But there is a shed.
Butcher's block it is.
So tell
No
me, are you
medicine
trying to
tonight.
help life then?
Yes.
Then
that's
why did you put a death curse on us?
Because it would have been too long to explain, and I'm already behind schedule by a week. Everyone else has already got their pieces ready to go, and I am behind.
And is this like a final thesis presentation? You could have just explained.
It's not. And like, she opens up the shed, and there's like a full like stereotypical witch's den. There's the witch's potions all on the wall, and there's like a huge cauldron in the middle, which is currently swirling with various colours of purple and blue that seem to be spinning, and it's almost like you can almost feel a sensation in the air that's missing just one little thing. And you can't quite tell what, but it's missing just one little thing.
This one has a picture of a long sheep on it.
And she leads the stag over. And she leads the stag over. And the stag looks at it and just stares down and just dunks its head into the pot and just holds it there. And just like, it just gently wags its tail, just like chill and happy. What? And then you just see the water level just slowly start to drop slightly.
Should we lock her in there and set it on fire? That would be a good end to the story.
No, she hasn't cured us yet.
Yeah. After that, totally burning the witch.
Okay.
If you would like me to actually explain what's going on.
No,
really.
No, it's fine. We just need the class lifted, really.
And the stag pulls its head back out. And you almost see like it's swishing something in its mouth. And it turns to the witch and it just spits. And it spits out this gigantic stone of swirling colour. And she's like, perfect, that's exactly what was needed.
Right now. Oh.
And she takes out another bag from her pocket. And is like, hey, Clarity, open up. And you hear something from the other side like, what? And like, it's a really gruff girl sound. Like a really gruff, like, overworked girl who is done with the day. What? I got it. Which one? You're already behind schedule on 3 things. The fucking rock for the pommel, you idiot. About fucking time. And she just lobs it through.
Thank you as well. Okay. Gold.
I'm just pulling out a tinderbox.
I'm pulling out 10 torches.
So she lobs this rock just straight through this bag and shuts it and puts it down. And the stag just like sits in the back of the room and just plonks itself down very gracefully, but it's still very big. You're kind of surprised it actually fits in this shed. It's almost like the shed just kind of like got a little bit taller to fit. Just like where it sits, it just gets a little bit taller.
That's cool. It's bigger on the inside.
Yeah, it's exactly the size it needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
And Stag just sits there and just stares out and it waits patiently. And the witch sits down on a chair that you don't really see where it came from. She just kind of like moved a tray and then suddenly it was a chair. She kind of sits down, she says, okay, so I probably should explain why I needed you to bring me the heart.
A curse first, maybe?
Yeah. You've still got hours, it's fine.
Not that fine, if you ask me.
I suppose you saw the creature.
Well, yeah.
The big. Yes.
Yes. My coterie and I have made a pact that we are going to destroy the creature. Not directly, but we are creating the means of a legendary hero that will destroy the creature.
I think that will be
Yeah,
her.
actually, if you got resume, you already cast your spell on it once.
Yeah, and it works so well.
Ah, well, we've done here. Thank you. Good evening.
Brilliant. If you could just reverse the curse, that'd be
yes.
great. Because we could just head
Yes,
out,
of
yeah.
course, of course.
If you want to be the legendary hero, you need to speak with Gladys. She kind of cracks her neck as she says it.
Are you Gladys? Is like another one of your faces Gladys.
No, Gladys is the matron.
Okay.
There's 3 of us in the coterie, the witch, the blacksmith, and the matron.
Okay.
I'm making the potions, the poultices, and everything to give the hero all the protections it needs in order to defeat the creature.
Uh-huh.
Clarice is the blacksmith, who has to make all the swords, the weaponry, and the armour in order to protect the hero. And Gladys is the matron, who is finding the hero. And I'm already behind schedule, because the last party I sent off, which I was able to explain everything to because I had time at that point, were eaten by the creature. Yeah.
That sounds awfully dangerous. Why don't we just rewrite it and say you won?
Yeah.
Well, technically we already did.
Yeah.
Well, it's part of the way.
That sounds really good to me.
Yes.
Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for this experience. But if you could just remove the curse, I think we'll finish up our book and be on our way.
Take our pay up to this date and move on.
Yeah.
We'll hand in our 2-week notice, but we'll leave on this date.
Alright. And she kind of like claps her hands together and grabs a potion and just kind of like flicks it at every single person. And as it flicks, you feel it fall onto your hand and it slowly melts away that black and it just drips off of your hands onto the floor. And as it falls on the floor, it goes and dissipates into nothing. And the curse is lifted.
Cool. I'd like to make a sleight of hand check. This is like 20 now, 19, 28. I'd like to take the llama potion and feed it to Mr. Reeves.
That's a bold assumption that there's a llama potion in here.
I mentioned it before, you did say there wasn't.
I didn't hear you because I'm tired as shit. So, say a number. If my dice rolls that number, you will get that llama potion.
Well, the number...
You have a 1 in 20 chance.
2.
Oh, do high.
It was a 3.
I knew it wasn't going to be a 1, so I'm a halfling, but I'm not that lucky.
Can I subtract inspiration from it? Because Cody gave me inspiration. This is how D&D works, right?
Negotiation.
Roll a 1 and...
Even or odd?
Even.
Even, you can do it.
Come on, 1.
Come on,
Snake
1.
eyes.
2!
2 is all we need.
But it's resistant to being removed, so it takes half.
So now you turned it into a crit 1 for stealing a potion.
Cool.
No,
So what
that's
did I-
not how that works.
Whatever. What did I feed Mr. Reeves?
So,
No Tyrannosaurus.
here's my favourite game. Here's my favourite game that my parents built for D&D 1st and 2nd edition, which is called the Potion Party. It's my favourite mechanic that they invented.
Uh-huh.
So the point of a potion party is that you mix every potion without labels into a pot and you just start taking drinks and see what happens.
King's Cup.
Basically,
Yeah.
the potion. It's great fun. So, does someone have a random effects table? And if so, how do I find it?
Xanathar's has it, I
There's
think.
wild magic.
Yeah.
There's wild magic in the sorcerer section of the player's handbook. Do you want me to get
Sorcerer section will be somewhere.
Do you want me to find it? Or have you got it?
Backgrounds, wizard.
It's a loud magic
That's
detection.
it. No, back. There you go.
Cast fireball himself.
Good luck, Mr. Reeves.
Good luck, everyone.
See what happens.
I'm a rogue, but I don't have evasion yet. Oh.
Potted plant.
That's gonna be fun.
Potted plant, yes.
So Mr. Reeves starts to grow some hairs on his face, on his little monkey face, and then the hairs start to grow hairs, which is a bit weird, and then you realise the hairs are actually feathers.
Ah, Mr. Reeves, you're turning into a llama. One of those feathered llama. Huh?
Lie, my pretties.
And eventually gets to a nice, really thick, full, luscious, feathery beard.
Excellent.
And then the smell of everyone sizzling off curses makes him go... and a cloud of feathers explodes out across everyone. It rolled 17.
I'm almost certain. Back when I played Vilvana, I got wild magic once, and that is the one that I got.
Have you changed height?
Yeah, you did.
Did I? I did, yeah. No,
Nothing
I
beats
think I got
toxic,
3. I
though.
made it invisible, I changed height, and I got a feathery beard.
Now, if you'd like to leave, there's nothing else for you here. I still have stuff I need to do. There's still things I need to work on with the stag.
Yeah, well, good luck with your whole saving the world thing.
It's a nice world. I live here.
Yeah.
I'd just like to get back to the graveyard, actually.
Yeah, do you have any more of those teleport scrolls? That would be great.
4 more? 5 more?
Let me check the back.
I mean, I'm literally just down the road, so I'm good.
Okay.
I don't know where I come from.
So when she says, let me check the back, she quite literally, pulls a cupboard forward slightly and checks behind it. And, rummages slightly, she sticks her whole arm through and, kind of rubbages. And she pulls out a couple of scrolls. And she's and checks them real fast. She's yeah, those work. If anyone wants one.
Yes, please.
Can I just have the gold value instead?
No.
Well, I suppose I'll take it and sell it.
So, do we get anything apart from obviously the curse being lifted? I mean, surely there must be a reward of some kind.
Yeah, the reward is the world not dying.
Could I get a...
You do realise that I serve a patron of death, basically, so that's not... I mean, it's essentially just more paperwork for me, but you know.
Yeah, except the creature isn't about things dying. It's more... When I said death, it more should have been not existing.
Oh.
We don't exist, we won't know about it. Not a problem.
I mean, that's fair.
So your reward is making sure that the world isn't going to not exist in the end of the year.
Oh no, my reward's what's in the king's treasury vault. No. I'm going to attempt to cast a spell.
Okay.
Just as you're leaving, I cast Enlarge on your monkey.
Excellent, he can carry more. I can put so much on him and disappearing.
So roll D20 Arcana.
Ooh.
This is going to go poorly.
Do you tell us what you're doing?
Yeah, I say I'm going to go rob the king's treasury vault.
Oh, well, if you're going to rob a treasury vault, my mother always used to say if it's gold, then it's sold.
12, which I...
Oh no, you have a +1.
I know that's, I've got Arcana as a
but I don't...
expertise, so it'd be giving, oh, you don't?
No.
Okay.
I can cast magic. I'm a wizard. I'm a wizard initiate. If that helps, because I think I
So
technically
the way
cast
I was
spell.
gonna do this is if you managed to roll higher than my dice, it was gonna work. I rolled a 12 with no extra bonus. So roll off again. I got a 15.
Oh.
I don't think I still have inspiration though.
It depends, is it a rematch or is it a next round?
It's a rematch.
That's
That's totally... That's a 1.
Oh.
12.
Well done, the last bardic inspiration we needed.
So you feel like it's almost a battle of wits against this scroll. Like you're trying to fight it for dominance to make it work.
Mr. Reeves! Mr. Reeves! I might need your help here. Maybe get off my shoulder.
And you feel like it's very resistant. And on that second attempt, it just shuts itself. Like, it rolls itself back up in your hand.
Does it, like, snap down onto it? It's like...
Yeah, like, if you're holding it tightly, it will pull your hands together. If you're only holding it loosely, it'll just roll itself up.
Naughty scroll. You can go with the rest of them. Well, I've got a way out now.
If you could just give me like a signed writ saying that I did I'll write it up. I'll like do all the details of this quest. You just need to sign it, and as proof that I've completed this.
Sure.
Brilliant, thank you. I write. It's like I pull out like a 7-foot long piece of parchment and an excruciating detail.
All that fine print.
Yes. Write out the whole thing. Embellishing just a little bit, like the terror and how brave I was, and the danger of the situation. I single-handedly saved a village of 300 innocents.
Is this a university application?
Not quite. Here at university.
If anything, you look like you're downplaying and keeping it quiet compared to my story.
Well, that's just a new adventure zone.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, just sign here on the line, and initials here, and here, and here.
So she actually takes it, and like a good contractor, she actually reads everything, because witches do contracts. So she's very acquainted with contract law. So you see her very carefully going through every single line of the scroll.
As far as she knows, it's true.
Yeah, as far as she knows it's true, but she's reading every line.
Just in case you slip in, also your soul is sold to blah.
Yes, that's why she's checking.
But there's nothing in there about me trying to steal souls or gold or make her beholden to me. It's just a recount of my exploits.
She's still reading it.
When it's a 7-foot scroll.
It's very long.
She's got time.
3
because now she has
later.
the stag.
Well, I think I'm back off to the graveyard, so...
Don't we have one more thing to do here?
Oh.
Oh, yes. Here's a torch.
Thank you.
Oh.
I will see you later.
Yeah, I'll leave you to it.
In case my probation officer sees me. I mean, my prohibition officer sees me drinking.
Then why are you doing it?
I don't know, I better leave. Now I get a natural 20. Stealth 27.
I was thinking, yeah, that.
I didn't get 3 natural 20s and a 19 between that attempt.
So everyone is at various points departing?
Yes.
Yeah.
I sort of start wandering off, looking around very confused with a torch in one hand and tinderbox in the other. Shrug a bit, light up and just hurl it back towards the house and keep walking off.
So you see...
I'm gonna mage hand catch the... if I can, Rhea has a reaction.
Everyone else is gone. I was waiting for you guys and you've all walked off.
Oh, okay.
Well...
Because I knew you were gonna do it, so...
So the torch slams into the door of the house. And it's almost like the house kind of just eats it.
I sit down
And
in
the
the
door
cabbage
just puts
patch.
itself back in place.
I sit down in the cabbage patch and start writing about how it went up in flames and you could hear the witches' screams echoing through the forest surrounding.
It stood up on chicken feet and moved slightly and sat down.
Cool, and that's everyone wrapped up then?
Yes. Yeah.
Cool. So thank you everyone for watching Fracture. So Fracture was written with the ability that it could be either a single game or it could be a sort of progressive campaign. So there is the potential if people liked Fracture. It doesn't have to be these same players, it could be anyone. If people liked it, I'm happy to run more of Fracture again in the future, as the follow-on story would be the people that get to travel with the legendary hero on their journey.
Well, thank you for the people who rated us and the few people who followed us as well. So
Thank you!
much appreciated and hope you enjoyed it. Seems if you did because you hung around.
And thank you, Ish, for running.
It's been so long since I've run a game, and that actually went a lot better than I expected.
We didn't even die.
Yeah, and no one died.
I go to Red Hot Go.
I didn't get to use my +7 on an issue.
I want to say I actually based the creature. I based the creature on like an on steroids version of Tiddalik from Indigenous Stories. Mm-hmm. because in the story of Tiddalik, it's the frog that just kept drinking all the water.
Yep.
And so all the other animals realised they needed to get their water back. So they got Tiddalik to laugh in order to spit out all the water. So that's why I was really hoping there would be something about the giant frog, because it was like a little tie-in to the idea of Tiddalik. So the creature is Tiddalik as a kaiju.
Mr. Waterman isn't an idiot, he just has a good deception score.
Perfect.
And is an idiot.
And I hope people noticed that in my intro screen that I drew in under 24 hours, and I'm dead inside as a result. So if you did see my intro screen, I drew it in one day. I'm very tired.
Yeah, apologies for yawning a bit as well, because I got back from London yesterday. So we did good.
Maybe we can put your intro screen up on YouTube as a little feature, and maybe put it on Facebook so the people that missed out get to see it.
That would be so
Out
cool.
for Twitch.
Yep.
That would be so cool. But I will say, the thing that was really cool in the intro screen that no one probably saw or commented on, one of the original adventuring party was actually pregnant.
I did notice.
Yeah. So, which is why, like, the witch was really distraught that she lost the party
Oh,
and needed to just get the nearest people she could.
that's who they were.
And we were pretty damn close stealing cabbages.
Because it tied into the story of Rapunzel.
Yes.
Where Rapunzel's father was stealing letters from the witch in order to feed his wife, who was pregnant, and that's why the witch stole Rapunzel.
And named her after the type of letters,
Yes.
Rapunzel in German.
Da, da, da.
She's German for iceberg.
So thank you everyone for watching. Thank you to all of our subscribers or followers tonight, and if anyone would like to subscribe, by all means do so. Remember to follow us on the social medias, on Facebook, on Discord, on YouTube. We stream every Monday, now Wednesday, and every Thursday for 2 lots of D&D and Star Wars Edge of the Empire every Thursday.
So, see you, mate.
See ya.
Bye!
See you all tomorrow. All of you.